funk. Thoughts deep, boys steeped in the depths that he sunk. Big stress, depressed in the middle of fall. Sky gray, I late in the thick of it all. I wonder, how long can a human survive just staying alive or carrying the rest of the tribe? Waiting for the day to arrive or struggling dies, and I be doing way, way more than getting by. So why? Cop myself a cup of coffee, sipping water in it softly, cleansing me of stress I hold. Hey, cop myself a cup of coffee, sipping water in it softly, cleansing me of stress I hold. Realize life is so much more than just living a day. Every day I can sit and reflect and breathe and connect to myself and all that I've been given. See, giving up is not an option. So when I'm looking at gray skies, I'll be adopting a new way to deal with a test. Lord, relieve me of stress. The rain be looking like when blessings dropping. And so I cop myself a cup of coffee, sipping water in it softly, cleansing me of stress I hold. Sipping water in it softly, cleansing me of stress I hold. Hey, here we go. Yeah, let's do this. Y'all ready? 1, 2, 3. In times of test, let no harm beset me, oh my Lord, oh my Lord. Test. Let no harm beset me, oh my Lord, oh my Lord.
Warning, the following image and/or content may be disturbing, offensive to some viewers. Viewer discretion is strongly advised.
Part 3. Part 3, y'all. Part 3, what's up with it, man? Salute. Appreciate y'all tuning in tonight. Appreciate y'all tuning in. Yes. Appreciate y'all tuning in to the lounge again, y'all. Man, we got part 3 that we're going to review. which has now became a darn series. Shit. Part 3, man. Part 3. If y'all didn't catch the first 2 part of this, by all means, so go back to my channel and check that out. Check out my reactions to that. Where I gave my reactions, but my perspective. In part 1, I had a couple of panelists join and share their perspective as well too. I apologize for last night. I apologize for last night because I had to leave. I had to go and attend something real quick, so I had to abruptly end the stream without having people coming up. But tonight, I'm going to open up the link where people will come up and y'all can express yourself on how the way you're feeling with this particular show. All right, so I got you. I got y'all tonight for sure this time. All right. But appreciate y'all tuning in. Everybody who's watching in the bushes, Lionel, what's up with it, man? Appreciate you like always, bro. Appreciate you. And everyone else who are catching the replay of the stream, appreciate you as well too. What's up with it? What is up with it? So we've been reviewing the Tap In podcast latest episode that they aired on Friday. The title of the episode is Too Grown for Games. Is Dating After 40 a Joke or a Journey? So their stream is like I think 6 hours long. So that's why we're breaking it down into a series now where we're going step by step on reviewing everything. All right. So appreciate y'all being tuning in this far, catching it. And all that good old stuff. So without further ado, man, we feel good to get into part 3 of this. The last time we stopped when I believe Vance had got on the panel. Vance got on the panel and she was going to give her perspective on this topic. So without further ado, let's go ahead and get into this. Make sure y'all hit the thumbs up to support the channel, and let's hear what old Vance have to say about this topic. All right, let's get it. Apparently we're mute. Or is he mute? Or did I mute them? Wait a minute, he's mute. Or I'm mute. No, it's mute it. Like, what the hell?
That's bullshit.
What is going on? Why is no audio? Hold up. Let me see. Let me make sure. Let me make sure real quick. I ain't doing nothing wrong. Yeah, it's like literally no audio. That is so weird. Hold up. Let me do YouTube. All right. Let me see if it captures it now. Oh, Lord. What is going on here? All right. Hold up. Give me one moment, y'all. Give me one moment. Technical difficulties, but hold up. Let me exit out and go back in real quick because I don't know what's going on right there. That was kind of weird. Oh. Okay. Exit out. We're going to do this real quick. Go back. And we're going to do this. Give me one moment, y'all. I'm almost done. Make sure y'all hit the thumbs up.
On the poll, or we just supposed to answer?
All right, we got it now. We're back to business, y'all. All right, so let me go back just a little bit right here, and we got it. All right, so here we go. Without further ado,
I know that's right.
And let's just be grown. That's all I ask. And I'll go
Be
on.
grown.
Be grown. Go. And the floor is now yours, Vance.
Wait, what was the question?
There ain't no question. What you got on it? Go ahead.
You ask me a question in the chat, Vaughn?
Oh yeah,
Oh.
what are you asking us a
yeah, that's
question on
Regina
the
Hall,
poll?
bro.
Or we just supposed to
Regina
answer?
Hall.
I'm asking you a question in the poll, so I'm asking
Regina Hall.
you, this or that. So it's this or that. 2 months, 2 months of texting, no date, or 1 date, then never hear back. So would you prefer the endless texting or 1 date and disappear?
Okay.
Sis is being petty, and I'll go on mute.
I sure am.
So what does this texting have to do with the decorum of the show? Lionel, you was there last week, so let me ask you a question. What was the texting part? What does this have to do with the decorum of the show? All right, what would this have to do? I don't know if SBK in the building yet, but he can answer this question too. E, if you're in the building, you can answer this question as well too. So once again, what does the texting have to do with the decorum of the show? Why was this part of the poll? All right, because I'm not understanding that, but let's hear.
I wanted to answer this. Well, Vaughn, do you have something on it real quick?
Disappear. That's all I got.
Disappear. I wanted to answer something real quick for sis, because she said this one. She said, but in dating, are you just deciding it's just the one up front? Dating doesn't mean you're exclusive to one, I don't think. I think it's more, are you being open and upfront? That's the problem most people have. They're not open and upfront. And I've said this many times, and I think we had a conversation, and brother said that was cap on me when I said I had a situation where, I let them know that, I knew what it was. You way in another state, I'm way over here. I'm not stupid. So, but it was implied.
Wait a minute.
I feel like, yes, you did.
I don't remember that.
You were probably off the gym bean, but it's okay. It's okay. But yeah, it's implied. I feel it's, if they don't say anything about being exclusive, or you guys haven't discussed exclusivity, I feel it's implied that they're seeing other people. That's just me. And to me, that's fine. If you're not married, you free to go roam about the countryside, in my opinion. But I feel people should be honest about it. Most people aren't honest about it. That's the problem.
So I'm still not getting her point dealing with this poll, talk about texting. Now, Lionel, he did say that, he said because some people only text instead of going out. Then he followed up and said she's saying we're in an era where people only text but don't actually go out. Okay, so the thing about this is that that's a fallacy in itself, because if you just only texting, then that's not considered as dating anyway. All you're doing that's a form of communication. That's it. You're not actually literally spending time with each other. And then if that be the case, then what's the point of it? What's the point of a man literally going through his dating ritual to humiliate himself in order to get the woman number just for them to text or send DM messages or whatever? You know what I'm saying? That doesn't make any sense at all. Honestly, I don't see a lot of people doing that as a form of dating, okay? And I want y'all to understand where I'm going with this, okay? I don't see people do this as a form of dating. However, I do see people doing this as a form of a placeholder, okay? What I mean by that? Sometimes what people do, they'll go and they'll jump into DMs, different things like that, right? And if they're interested in that person, right, they'll put them as a placeholder. And the reason why is because they're currently spending time with another person. Now, by her, going into more details, what she was saying per time about, people not spending time with each other, or they may have, somebody else who's on, they're spending time with, I could agree with E on that, you know what I mean? But for us, the texting part right there, I don't consider that as dating. I consider that as a placeholder for potential dates in the future. You know what I'm saying? Like one day the woman, she go through her progressions of different dudes and stuff, right? And every dude is curving her, right? Then all of a sudden she get to this other dude and say, hey, you know what? Let's go out one day. just because she bored, or maybe she's hungry, or maybe she's broke, or maybe she needs something, or whatever case may be. You know what I'm saying? But I see them doing that as a placeholder. The reason why I know about this is because, once again, when I was out there in that market, several women had did that to me, where they literally made me a placeholder. We wasn't dating. I was barely texting them. They was barely texting me other than, the simple things like, hey, what's up? How you doing? Blah, blah, blah. And that was it. You know what I'm saying? It wasn't no continuation to that you're trying to get to know that person. You know what I mean? So what these women was doing that to me, I really didn't know them. I didn't get to know them. I understood the assignment for what it is. I understood that I was a placeholder. That eventually we caught up and had lunch or whatever case may be, or smash, whatever case may be, and it was just the end of that. You know what I'm saying? So I'm just saying. But let's continue.
That is true. A lot of people are not honest about it. Me, I'm already said I'm gonna find me a younger man with some Timberland boots or some tennis shoes.
Wait a minute.
I'm not gonna go with no older man to walk around with some loafers. I'm sorry, I'm done. I ain't dead. I'm still alive.
I know that's right, Miss Roxy, girl. Get your man. Get your man. I'm with you when you're right.
You said Timberland.
She said Timberland
Them
boots.
East Coast Uggs.
She don't want no old man, no house slippers. I know that's right, girl.
I want that pot belly. Want to lay up on the couch and put his hand in his pants like Al Bundy.
No, I move around too much. I get around too much. I do too much stuff, and I don't need no man to lay around on me. Look, we gonna go together. We gonna do things together. That's why I say I can understand what SBK said. Look, let's go out here, do some things. Sit in the park, do some things. Besides, go eat. I don't need to go eat and sit down and get fat. I need to go and do some things, keep myself in health.
So real quick, like even what Lionel was saying right here, he was addressing that in this new modern era, texting has become dating, right? But even with that, bro, I understand the sentiment behind it, but in reality, that's not considered as dating. Okay, that's considered still as a line of communication. It don't matter if y'all FaceTiming each other, P-pics and dick pics or whatever you doing and stuff, right? That's still not considered actual dating. According to dating, it's the whole process of getting to know someone with the potential of having a relationship with them. You know what I'm saying? That relationship could either be sexual, it could be platonic, or it could be intimate. You know what I mean? An actual intimate relationship where it leads to marriage. But texting does not give that satisfaction or that requirement of dating at all, period. It doesn't. Nor sliding into people's DMs do not satisfy that requirement of dating. They could label it all day long as dating all day long they want to, but in reality, that's not what that is, period. You know what I'm saying?
We get to that bedroom, we know what to do. You can't do nothing if you're sitting around lazy and you can't do nothing. That's why I say I need a younger man with some Timberlands or tennis shoes. No more loafers.
Or you
I got a feeling
them brothers. What's them brothers that's 70-something or 60-something? They do calisthenics and all that. They kind of,
That's
Okay,
one of
that's
the
one
ones
that I attract to. Hey,
I'm so glad you cut me off. I'm so glad. No, because I'm gonna go on mute. I'm gonna go on mute.
No, you don't. Come off mute.
Ratchet.
Come off mute.
I was finna say something, y'all.
Come on, what you about to say?
come on with it, Vaughn. We grown folks.
I was gonna say, Miss Roxy, you want the Timberland boots to follow y'all in the bedroom, girl. That's what you want the Timberland.
That's right. And be able to stand it.
Stand up in it. Find that video.
Oh, I am hollering.
Miss Roxy sound like this woman. I gotta find that video. Damn it.
Oh, that made my night. I ain't lying.
Okay.
Mm-hmm.
It still works.
That part.
Legend has it. I will say this here. Shout out to my grandparents, Andrew and Lucy. Legend has it. Up until they were in their 70s, they were still getting it in. They were still getting caught, getting it in. You know what I mean?
As it should.
And I just want to follow in their footsteps. I know they're looking down on me. They're proud on me, and I just, you know what I'm saying. I want to follow in my grandparents' footsteps. Just because you are seasoned, I don't want to use the word old. I want to say seasoned,
Marinated.
You know what I'm saying? That's that wisdom. Was the scripture says, honor the hoary head, huh? You know what I'm saying?
You know what? Mute his mic, E. Please. He just
He doing way too much.
This lady doing way too much tonight. What?
What are you drinking tonight?
Look here. Look. I'm gonna say this here, and I'm gonna go on mute, and I'll go on mute. Look here, ladies. Like I said, I'm just speaking for myself. We're talking about is dating after 40 a joke or a journey? I said what I just said in this day and time. It's really it's different in this day and time. It's basically a joke, the dating scene, right? So look, man, my country ass, I am just wanting the simple things in life. You know what I'm saying? When I'm at an age now to where I'm ready to build stuff. I'm ready to right now, you know what I'm saying? If I have someone, I want that garden. Lord
have mercy.
I want that garden. I want to sip on some wine. I want to watch my significant. I want to watch my significant other's Velcro veins grow in the kitchen. Get behind her, and fill her up. That's all. You know what I'm saying? And I go on mute.
X-rated ish right now.
That's not X-rated. I didn't say anything X-rated.
When is he not X-rated?
Okay.
Every week it's about him.
Talking about what I said.
I understand.
I didn't use any graphic.
I understand. Listen, I trust me.
I'm hiding behind perfect English language.
And trust me, you're a rarity because not many men will actually say something of that nature. Not many men, are willing to, make that commitment or make that vow. And that's all I'm saying. I'm not saying.
That's bullshit.
Oh Lord Jesus! Many men don't be doing that, huh? Here we go again with another fallacy. Okie dokie. All right.
And that it's not any men out there, but it's a lot of men. Like Foxy said, they're in their 60s and 70s, and hell, they still trying to play games. Like, when are you gonna grow up? When are you gonna, try to settle down? Especially at 60 and 70, you got more time behind you than you do in front of you.
Oh shoot!
I'm just saying.
Dang it, you've been watching Disrupt and Discuss.
No, I peep in over there.
Okay, wait a minute. I hear KC. What? All right, say that.
Yeah, but
SDK.
I'm just saying, that's one of the reasons why
apparently Lionel settling down is growing up according to this logic. Me personally, I know that that's not the truth at all. Settling down is not growing up. Settling down does not make you mature. Okay, it doesn't. I would say this. I would say going through different life circumstances and learning lessons from it is what makes you mature and what's developing you. As you can see right now, in this current dating age right now, we say this all the time. You don't want to hear it, but shoot, it's the truth. It's the truth. The divorce rate is high because of women. Let's keep it real. So because women decided that they want to settle down with certain type of dude that they're attracted to, knowing good and well that these dudes is not have the maturity to want to be in a relationship, but they feel like that they can manipulate and change them and mold them into be the person that they want him to be. You know what I mean? that goes to what I was saying earlier about, you know, these type of women, how they have predatory behavior, that they believe that they can mold a person and make this dude be what they want him to be, but it never works. It never works, because eventually that dude is going to have an awakening moment. He's going to realize that he's been being abused. He's going to realize that he been mentally abused. And then he's going to have that awakening moment. Then that's when he's going to want to start becoming masculine. Then that's when the woman going to use that famous line, "Oh my God, you have changed. You have changed. What happened to you?" Now he does finally realize that you was full of bullshit. It is what it is.
That's bullshit.
I'm just saying. But let's continue.
I really don't date anymore because I don't play games with people. I really don't. I don't have time for it. And so
Apparently so.
would I would like to, yes, but I just don't. I don't like playing games with people, and I'm not gonna try to figure you out, and I'm not gonna try to convince you or none. I don't have time for none of that. So I just kind of stay to myself or what have you, because I see what's going on, and I see people my age that's trying to date, and most of them get duped.
But Queen, I'm gonna let Bonds. You calling my name, so keep your thought in mind, Queen. But Queen, I said what I said. What I want to say is this: is that yeah, a lot of those older dudes have that mindset. Yes, they do. You know what I'm saying? But and I can't speak for them dudes. I can't speak for them Mickey Fickies or whatever. I really can't. But all I'm saying is that a lot of us are out there. You know, we ain't playing no games. We too old to play games. I don't want to chase. Look, a lot of us men like you strong, independent. Every last one of y'all females up here are strong-willed females. This one right up here with the cowboy hat, I know she's strong-willed. She's married, got her a good man. She's strong-willed, and it's crazy as hell. You know what I'm saying? Crazy as hell, opinionated. You know what I'm saying? She's married. You know what I'm saying? I done heard Miss Foxy speak. She stands on business. She stand on business. You know what I'm saying? Queen, I said what I said. I know you stand on business. You
Big
stand
business.
on. You know what I'm saying? You are strong. Bonds, you are young, but you stand on business. You know what I mean? A lot of us men like women like y'all that stand on business, that are strong. We can handle y'all regardless of what type of situation. You might have a bad day. You might go off on us. That's not going to cause us to, it's not going to cause us to go here or there. You know what I mean? We deal with it and we keep on pushing. If the man can't deal with that, if a man can't deal with y'all or whatever, that's not the man for y'all. We got it. You know what I'm saying? We understand that. We're gonna hang in there with you. We're talking about the men that want women like y'all. You see what I'm saying? Not no weakling. You know what I'm saying? That's what I'm saying. Y'all get what I'm saying? Bonds, the floor is now yours.
All right, so let's deal with this, okay? Let's deal with this. I'm going to be just okay. Let me open up by asking a question. All right, what does it mean about when a woman is strong and independent? What does that look like? What is the actual definition of that, of a woman that's strong and independent? How does that look like? Okay. The reason why I'm asking this question is because I'm going to give SBK pushback on this. That whole narrative about men wanting a stronger, independent woman, that's bullshit.
That's bullshit.
That is absolutely bullshit. In reality, a man do not want no strong and independent woman. He don't. But what happened is that feminism have manipulated that man to think that that's what he truly wants, because that's what's available in the current era. But in reality, a man do not want no strong and independent woman. Hell, I'm a man and I don't want no strong and independent woman. I don't want no woman no strong and loud and obnoxious and ghetto, and she can't understand that I'm the head and the leader of the house, and you want to take over, you want to overstep your boundaries in that position and stuff because you feel like you're strong and independent, or you feel like you got to say something. No, I don't want that at all, period. No. Don't want no strong independent woman. I don't want no woman. Check this out. I don't want no woman who know how to change a damn tire. I don't want no woman who know how to build things. I don't want no woman who know how to do other manly things that men normally would do, like cut the yard and different things like that. You know what I'm saying? I don't want that. I want a woman to be in her femininity. Like case in point, in my marriage right now, even though that I have taught my wife different things, how to do different things, just in case if something were to happen to me and she needs to do it, she can do it. But guess what? She doesn't. The reason why is because she's feminine as hell. She is girly as hell. She's very girly. She haven't picked up a power tool. She haven't changed her tire. She don't even want to do that. None of that stuff. Hell, she don't even pump her own gas unless she's by herself. So I want her to be in her femininity. I don't want her to be out there super independent type when she's with me. Now I can understand when she's by herself and she's single and doing different things like that. Then that's cool. You know what I'm saying? You have to have a level of independence. But when it's dealing with interdependence, right? No, hell no. No. I want her to be relying on me. Rely on me to actually be that protector and provider that I need to be. Well, when I hear things like that, when I hear men say that they want a strong, independent woman, immediately I feel like that they sitting up here self-hating themselves for real. Immediately I believe that they sitting up here emasculating themselves. Immediately I believe that they not allowing themselves to be the men that they need to be, which is a one protector and provider. To be honest with you, to be quite honest. When I hear that. Fellas, don't be going out and looking for these type of women, because when you look for these type of women, this is where you be getting into trouble. This is where you be getting into relationship problems, where you be clashing with them every single time because they feel like they're strong and independent. You can't tell them shit. You can't put them in their place. You can't tell them when they're wrong. You know what I'm saying? Because I'm strong and independent and you can't tell me. Then that's when they end up going into this little bullshit talking about we're equals. No, we're not equal at all, period. We're not equal. We're two totally different human species. You is a female, I'm a male. I got certain attributes as a male that I am built to do, period. You got attributes as a female that you are built to do, period. And we need to respect them differences and not try to clash over and say, well, I could do this or I could do that. No, hell no. And you as a man shouldn't even want that, period. You shouldn't want no woman that's strong and independent. That's a bullshit feminist ideology that's been implanted into our heads as men. And the reason why I got implanted into our head is that we got to the point where we just got tired of it and we literally just submitted ourselves to that ideology. But I'm going to tell you this. Time out for all that. It's time out for all this. It's time for us to step back into our masculinity. See, these women, they keep saying that they want a man who's masculine and stuff, right? But at the same time, they want it on their terms. That ain't how that works. If they want us to respect their femininity, right, they got to respect our masculinity, period. I'm just saying. I'm just saying, so yeah, Don't fall for that. Don't fall for that strong, independent woman bullshit. Don't even look for a woman like that, because I'm telling you, look for a woman like that, guaranteed their relationship is not going to last. Shoot, SBK, he go out and marry a woman like that, I guarantee he's going to be divorced in a month, for real, because they're going to be clashing all the time, especially all the way he is. I'm just saying. Hey, what's up, Queen? Salute. And salute to each and every last one of y'all here right now. We are in part 3 of Reacting to Tap In Podcast. Let's go ahead and get into the video.
Yours. I'll go on you.
Oh no, I was gonna give an ad lib. I forgot what it was. Oh yeah, you hiding behind proper English and scripture. Yeah, that's what I was gonna say.
She called it. There you go. Wait, let me see. Can I put this up when Miss Roxy said what she said? Hold on. I got something. Hold on.
What Just Jay said? Just Jay said, SBK, them little skinny women can't make you 2 pans of food. They're good to look good. They good to look, but then what? I don't like skinny women.
Well, Jay ain't lying. She ain't lying.
What you mean she ain't lying, Vaughn? What you talking-
Vaughn can't make 2 pans of food now. Okay, so she ain't lying.
Look. Oh, wait. Vaughn, oh, I let Joe play this.
Joe.
I mean, I'm sorry.
Lord have mercy.
I'll let E play this. What you got going?
That's to be fair on this. I'm not taking nothing Vaughn say seriously at all because like I say, I've been around Vaughn long enough and I know when she's trolling. So since the time that she's been on this panel, she haven't been taking this conversation serious at all. She just been the straight trolling. She's been in her trolling mood. All right, so that's why I'm not even acknowledging it. You know, so it is what it is.
This is why when Miss Foxy said what she said, I was like, Lord, this Miss Foxy right here. You see that? And I don't mean no disrespect. You ain't no grandma. I ain't. You know. We said grandma got her young tender. Got her young tender.
No. I know what you was talking about, Lionel, but I'm talking about what Vance was talking a few moments ago.
He is taking care of his responsibilities. Hold on. Where'd he go?
That look like a YN, E.
Huh?
Yeah, look like a YN.
Yeah.
In like a mofo.
A real YYN.
Okay. That's a young man.
Now that's a little too young for me. Now I ain't say that far down.
He was like, I want to say he was like 20 something or 30.
Oh no, he looking for a place to stay.
No, I can't have anybody below the age of my oldest son, and he's 50 years old.
Oh no, man! You're gonna give me copyright. Here we go, Skip.
You don't believe it? You don't believe that?
Thank you for that. You gave me
Hell no, I don't believe that.
I don't either, dog.
Hell no, I don't believe that shit. I don't believe that shit.
SBK, he got a big insurance policy.
Okay.
For real.
Good job. Okay.
Good benefits.
Hey, good benefits. I ain't believe that shit at all.
Right. I don't either. I couldn't go that young because I would treat him like my son though. I couldn't go that young.
The only benefit the only benefit in that is you know what, and that's it. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
And that
What?
lady is gorgeous. She's gorgeous.
I mean, he's telling the truth.
Yeah, she was a cutie pie.
That's all what he can do for her in bed. I mean, let's be straight.
So y'all don't believe?
But you know, but if he really for real, then hey, salute.
Salute to him.
I take my hat off to him.
But check this out. Not everything is for public consumption. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
If it's real, then why? You know, I don't believe that. You know what I mean? But look here, I'm not going to be showcasing that. That lady is gorgeous. That queen is gorgeous. She get the business without me freaking
Lord.
putting it. I'm just saying, Mom. You want me to be real
She
about
is
it?
beautiful. She is beautiful.
She's gorgeous.
No, I agree. She gorgeous. I'm over here talking about SBK, talking about she can get the business. Like
Well, she
what?
would. She get bang, 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 bang. You know what I mean? Shout out to Witherspoon. You know what I'm saying?
Why?
She would get the business. Her seasoned self would get the business while she's cooking those collard greens and.
Hey man, is this conversation going to turn to one of them sex talks conversation again or what? Because if it is, I'm gonna fast forward that because I don't feel like hearing all that tonight. You know, so I don't feel like hearing this bang 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 and all this stuff respectfully. You know what I mean? But yeah, Queen, I get it. Yeah, people they'll put a copy claim on you off of crazy stuff, man. So that's why I fast forward the music because I don't feel like going back through there and editing it. You know what I'm saying? Tonight, I may do it tomorrow night, but it's neither here nor there.
And everything in the kitchen, she would get the business.
She looked like she could make two. She looked like she could make 2 pans of food, 3, 4, 5. Okay.
Skippy, you know what I'm saying? After she would make that, she would get the business. She
looked like I drink her pot liquor.
I don't
from
know
her
about
collard
that.
greens.
So,
her collard greens.
So SBK, what kind of women are you dating, sweetie?
I'm not dating at all, Queen. I'm
you're
being
not.
honest.
Yeah.
I'm not dating.
It's just not worth your time either.
I don't have time for it.
You don't have time.
I don't.
Oh,
I'm being honest with you. I don't have time to date.
well, I know you don't. I asked you that a couple weeks ago. Like,
Yeah,
are you gonna work? You work all these jobs. So when do you actually have time to even try to date anybody? I don't see you having that much time.
I don't. I really don't. And look. I get them young, older, whatever. You know what I'm saying? And I don't have time for it. But not to say that I will. Not to say I won't have any time in the future. But what I'm saying, what I see is what you just stated, Queen. It's a lot of games being played. Call me. Okay.
Call you.
Well, I'm giving scenarios.
SBK,
Don't you
I'm finna get
go
you.
there.
Wait. Let me
Okay.
explain.
Please
Call me. But yet still, there is no type of when my big sis here was putting up those damn polls or whatever about games being played and texting and all that type of shit. You know what I'm saying? The thing about that is that look, women, when you guys exchange numbers, right? When you exchange numbers, those knows I'm telling the truth. You know what I'm saying? That's why she said truth. When you guys exchange numbers, right? Well, if you exchange numbers with said individual.
So I got another one unpopular opinion about this. All right. So women believe that it's a man's duty to go out and chase after them, right? Once again, women believe that it's a man's duty to go out and chase after them. They believe that it's a man's duty to go out and make time for them and to date. Okay. Here's the reality of this, and this is the honest truth. If a man is making time to find a woman, then that means that man is not stable at all. That means that his priority is twisted completely. A man, number one divine duty is for him to be about the Father's business, however y'all take it. That is his duty, is to be about the Father's business, meaning that he is the one who's supposed to be going out and making things happening, with the world, period. That is his duty. A matter of fact, to confirm this, right? Those of y'all believe in spirituality, religion. In the one book of Genesis, when God created Adam, guess what he was doing? Adam was about the Father's business. He was doing what he was designed to do. Even when God made Eve, God the one who decided that Adam needed help. God decided that Adam the one who needed help. But Adam never told God that, hey, I needed help, God. He never said that because he was about his business. He was happy in his purpose, right? But in this divine moment, right, God decided to troll Adam, to literally troll him and create this brand new being that later on down the line fucked up his whole entire process of him being a man. And that's facts, to be honest with you. Let's call it for what it is. Because once again, he was out doing his thing. He didn't complain about it. He was happy. He was happy doing what he was doing. He was in this perfect peace and everything, doing what he was doing. But the moment when God decided that he needed help, right, instead of him actually giving somebody with some common sense, just like Adam, you know what I'm saying, he decided to create this being that's going to be contrary to Adam, the woman. Instead of that woman being part of her divine place as a woman, which is to be a helpmeet, right? She decided one day that she wants to, like we were saying earlier, she wants to take on the leadership. She wants to be strong and independent on her own. And guess what she did by her being strong and independent on her own? She ended up going somewhere else in the garden and decided to talk to someone else that she had no business talking to. I'm strong and independent. Did God really say you shouldn't eat that fruit? Sure, I'm not strong and independent. He can't tell God can't tell me what to do, nor my man can't tell me what to do. Ate the fruit that manipulated Adam with the fruit as well too. It messed up the whole entire concept, the whole entire paradise. Fast forward to right now in the modern day time. Y'all don't realize that same thing is happening even in this modern day right now. It's where the man is out in his purpose. The man's purpose is not for him to be going out and seeking for a woman. His purpose is about him doing the Father's business, which is wherever one creativity that he's designed to do, whether if he's a builder or a problem solver or a businessman, wherever the case may be, that is the Father's business. That's what he's supposed to be doing. He don't supposed to be out there looking for no damn woman. Now, it's a difference between looking for a woman and actually finding a woman who was in your path while you was doing the things that you was doing. That's two totally different things. All right. And this goes back to my concept about chasing. No man don't supposed to be chasing no woman, period. Nor, we can say this as well too, nor no woman supposed to be chasing a man, to be honest with you. But for sure, the man do not supposed to be chasing a woman, period. He's supposed to be out about being about his Father's business. And if y'all just so happen to cross paths and run into each other and, you look at her and you're like, hey, she's cool. I want to get to know her, in that nature, then there's nothing wrong with that. So no, So everything that SBK is saying as a man is true. That's what he's supposed to be doing. He's supposed to be out doing this business and taking care of his family and building wherever he's trying to build and stuff. You know what I'm saying? That's what he's supposed to do. Do he supposed to make time for a woman while he in the process of building? Hell the fuck no. Mm-mm. You don't supposed to make no time for no woman, especially a woman who don't even qualify. You know what I mean? So that's not his position to make time. His position to make time to be about his purpose. That's his position. What he's supposed to do. That's what I'm saying. That's what I'm saying. Look, Queen, we didn't be into this whole conversation again about Adam and Eve. Feminist women always push back on it. Talking about, Adam could have told them not to eat the fruit. It's neither here nor there. We already talked about that. We already went down that rabbit hole to talk about that. And I already proved y'all wrong about all of that, so we ain't going to go through that tonight. We're not going to deal with it tonight, you know what I'm saying? So, yeah.
All right. If a lady, if said individual does not understand me and understand that I'm all about my business, shout out to T.I. I'm all about my business. I stand on business. You know what I'm saying? I stand on business. I stand on business, and I'm going to work, and I'm going to do what's necessary to take care of my business, right? So, but if you want me to correspond, let me finish, Bonds. Let me finish. Wait. If I stand on business or whatever, if you want me to call you, text you, whatever, you got to understand me. You know what I mean? When do you want me to call you? You can call too. You can call too. You know what I'm saying?
I agree.
You can call too. Communication goes both ways. And I go on.
Man.
Well, don't you feel like that people would let me just give you, if it's somebody respectful to you and they know that you work a lot, you don't think that they may try to wait for you to call because you're working and they don't want to interrupt you?
No, that's not the case. I said what I said because that's a good point that you bring out. They don't take that into consideration.
No, it's not.
They don't take that into consideration at all.
I don't believe SBK.
What the hell, Vaughn?
Here is what I believe.
I'll go on mute.
Get him, little sis. Get him.
Because it ain't no way you out here talking about you want to just do. See, I knew I was right. Okay. Teddy bear. Okay. No. Grizzly and teddy bear clothing. Okay. All right. Now listen. SBK. It sounds to me like, okay, you want to be.
One other thing too, SBK. I know you gonna watch the replay of this, right, bro? I have to tell you this respectfully too, bro. You know what I'm saying? This from one bro to another. And don't take this the wrong way, all right? Whenever these women are calling you, you know what I'm saying, calling you like a grizzly bear, they call you out the grizzly bear, but they also saying you soft like a teddy bear, right? They literally mean that. They literally mean that you're this strong figure, but they can manipulate you into being this soft person that they want you to be. Okay? To be quite honest with you, as a man, I would not accept that bullshit at all. I wouldn't. Because what they literally doing, so what Lionel just put it in the chat right now, what they literally doing, bro, is indirectly call you a beta, bro. I'm just being real.
Beta.
That's what they indirectly doing, calling you a beta, bro. But we know that you're not a beta. We know where your heart is at. We know where your intentions is at. You know what I'm saying? But they don't. They don't know that. So I wouldn't accept that bullshit at all. Oh, you're a soft ass a teddy bear? Nope. To me, to be honest, that's like a level of disrespect. That's like on the same level of disrespect of them sitting up here calling dudes gay or feminine because they don't agree with their ideology. You must don't like women because you're gay. No. I just don't like your behavior. It doesn't mean I don't like women, period. It doesn't mean that I'm a misogynist and different things like that. No. It's just that I simply don't like the behavior, and we just want the behavior to be correct. The same thing about men and our behavior, you know what I'm saying? It's just about the stuff that we do, to be honest. So, yeah, honestly, bro, respectfully, don't allow these women to do you like that, bro. Oh, he's soft and stuff. They say retarded stuff like talking about, oh, you been listening to Lionel and Urban and all them and stuff right there. You're different and stuff. No, that's them not respecting you as a man, bro. I'm just being real about it.
Be grown, and be butt naked and in the garden with the wine, and then you want to go to work, okay? And that's what you want to do. You want to do what you want to do. That's what it sounds like to me.
Before I address Vance, right, this comment right here solidified my argument right here. Down by Greta put up. It solidified my argument. It proves the point right here. Queen said this. No, that's not what we mean. We mean that we see him as a nurturer. That proves the point right there. A man should not be seen as a nurturer, period. A man should not be seen as a nurturer, period, because our position, according to y'all definition of a man, is that we're protectors and provider. So you're gonna add on that we got to be a protector, provider, and nurturer at the same time? Shit.
That's bullshit.
So which one is it? Do y'all want us to be a protector, provider, or do you want us to be a nurturer? Do y'all want us to be masculine, or do you want us to be feminine at the same time? In reality, we can't do all that. It's not part of us. Just like I was saying earlier about a woman being all independent and all this stuff there, it's not in y'all nature to be that way anyway. You know what I'm saying? It's for y'all to be feminine, period. So why in the hell are y'all calling a dude a nurturer, expecting a man to be a nurturer when that's not even in him to do that anyway? That's y'all position. That's y'all job. We need to get out of this mindset that, hey, I could do things like you could do, or I could do things better than you type of one concept. Because once again, that is another feminist ideology. No. Don't fall for that. See, the only way we're going to want to take back our masculinity is for us to want to be transparent and straight up honest with it. And let people know, like, nah, that ain't what that is at all. Nor you're not going to sit up here and try to disrespect me. You know what I mean? That's what I'm saying. But let's continue.
Come on.
That's
not what he said.
Come on.
What he said, he want to spend time.
Miss Foxy,
But
in the garden, Miss Foxy,
yeah.
No.
Come on.
No.
Come on, come
SBK
on.
is that type of dude that's, let's get close, but he won't distance. He ain't trying to be close like that. So, when expectation, call me, pay attention to me. No, I don't want to pay attention to you right now unless we in the garden. I mean,
this conversation, I'm not with Vons. Like I said, I'm not even paying attention to Vons because I know she's trolling. But this what Gisela said. She said this: how is a woman supposed to call SBK when you're either at work or asleep or on the panel? The answer is simple: is that if that woman really want to check up on him, she could call him and he'll return a phone call. She could text him and he'll return her text whenever. I'm just saying it's not difficult. You know what I'm saying? See, they're thinking that, to be honest with you, their mindset is set on selfishness. Their mindset is set on entitlement because they believe that they should be entitled for this man's time. No, it's the man who would give you the time if he wanted to give you that time. If he wanted to give you that time, then he's going to give you that time. If he's not going to give you that time, then it's not going to happen. Y'all could simply say, well, Urban, this is the same thing for women. Yeah, we could say that. Same thing for women. If you want to give us our time, then you're not going to do it. Case in point, when I was telling you about when a man approached the woman initially, right, it's up to y'all to decide if you want to take that time and opportunity to hear the proposal or what the man is saying to you, right? So likewise, it's the same thing with him. If you want to give her that time, he'll give her that time. If not, it just is what it is. It's not that difficult.
Okay, having wine butt naked, okay, cooking, and I'm filling up on you. All right. But when I'm at work, you know, I'm all about, you know, and I don't want to say it like that, but that's what it sounds like. You know, you just a little selfish.
But when you at work, you at work.
Whoa.
No. It's not about him being at work. It's that he trying to use work as an excuse not to get close after they done been close in the garden. Y'all not listening.
That's not
true. There we go. Yeah, now y'all understand.
Okay,
I don't get that right down there.
Go ahead, y'all ever thought about, you know, you say he works so much, right? You ever thought about if he got the right woman, he wouldn't be working so much?
See, that's the trick. That's the trick.
I'm gonna say this. And Miss Foxy, I'm gonna say this. You are right, but you gotta not be working.
Excuses now.
Here we go.
It's not gonna come knocking on his dang door.
Exactly, E. He gotta want it, but he only want it when he want it. He don't want to, you know, like I said, expectation. I
don't understand y'all new men. I got business.
New man, this is a new one.
Don't men always have business to handle
at all times?
At all times, it never stops. So what are we talking about?
Yeah, but okay, hold on, SBK.
Okay, in this part, I have to push back on my boy again. Hell yes, we are busy because we're supposed to be busy. We're supposed to be about our Father's business, of course. So yeah, y'all going to be in second place. Y'all in second burner to us, depending on every other thing that we got going on in our life. So yes, he's going to be busy. If a man is not busy, then that should, respectfully, ladies, if a man is not busy, then that should be an automatic red flag. Be honest. But y'all don't see it that way because, once again, like my boy Lionel saying, being disingenuous, and also y'all thinking with y'all egos now. You're thinking with your egos, thinking that, you know, you're entitled. You're thinking you have this entitlement that this man's supposed to do this for you. When he's not required to do that. He's not required to give you time and different things like that. It's only when he wants to do that. When he want to do it, he's going to do it. If he's not going to do it, he's not going to do it. Case in point. There are married men right now, right? There are actual married men out there right now where they either make time for their wife or they don't make time for their wife. When the man who doesn't make time for their wife typically is because of this very reason I'm telling you right now, where she feel like that she's egotistical, she feel like that she's entitled, she feel like since she has signed a contract with this dude, which is a marriage license, that he's supposed to bend the knee to her every single time and every single moment as she see fit. But that's not right. So therefore, that married man got so tired of it, got so burnt out. Guess what he do? He literally don't make time for her. He literally would do overtime at work. He'll do overtime and more overtime just so he could come home to when she's asleep. That's facts. Because he don't want to put up with her entitlement bullshit. That's facts. He'll literally make time for everything else, right? Just so he don't have to deal with her. He'll be like, yeah, you know, I got the we got the meeting at the office, you know what I'm saying? I ain't gonna make it there till like by 5 a.m. He'll sit there, he'll literally do these things just so he won't have time for that woman. just because that woman had this entitlement mentality. But however, on the flip side, right, if you're dealing with a woman who's in her femininity, right, and she's being respectable and everything, and she's respecting his time and stuff, right, guess what? He's going to be more than willing to give her time. He's going to be more than willing to squeeze her into his schedule. Well, if it's him stopping off on his lunch break and going either to her workplace or at home or wherever she at and meeting with her for an hour, you know what I'm saying, to go back to work, he's going to do things like that because that type of woman is operating in her femininity instead of being all strong and independent and entitlement. I'm just saying, you know what I mean? Max, what's up with a salute? Salute to everybody who's tuned into the stream. Make sure you hit the one thumbs up. We are reacting to Tap In Podcast, Too Grown for Games. It's Dating After 40, a joke or a journey. This is part 3 of the stream that we're reacting to. All right, so let's get into it. And I'll read Max's comment in a little bit.
Help you out. Let me help you out.
Just don't help him.
Let
Don't
me
help
help
him,
you
sis.
out, SBK. Let me help
Lord.
you out.
Well, go ahead.
Yeah. So you know I love my sis. You know I'm girl power all together. You know with me, but I understand exactly what he's saying because when you're busy, you're busy. You don't have time, and if you're gonna live a certain lifestyle, if you want, cause see this is where women get this stuff conflicted. If your man is trying to provide for you, and you guys want to live a certain lifestyle. You have to allow him to do the job, do the work. Now, I can understand if he's going to work and then when he come home, he got to go to the gym, he got to go hang out with his boys, he got to go to the club. All his free time is with somebody else other than you. But it seemed like to me is what he's saying is, if I'm not at work, then my time is with you. So
That part.
So let's address this. Max, she said this. My mom passed when I was 3, and I'm thankful for my dad was able to be all the above, including nurturing. So let's deal with this nurturing thing because I remember I was having a conversation about this before, and people gave me pushback on this. All right, so let's revisit this particular thing since we're in decorum or in this particular topic. All right, so let me ask y'all this question: what is the definition of a nurturer? All right, let's start with that. Let's start with figuring out what's the definition of a nurturer, okay? When y'all want to figure out the definition of a nurturer, I guarantee what y'all going to do. Y'all going to immediately, preferably women and simp dudes and stuff, right? Y'all going to immediately resort to the definition of being intersexual, meaning that it could apply to both men and women. But in reality, dealing with behavioral-wise and stuff, right, that is far from the truth. There is a social norm tied into being a nurturer. Within that social norm, guess what is pointing towards? Women, not men. Whenever the term nurturer is equated to a man, that dude is automatically considered as a beta.
Beta!
Automatically. That dude is automatically considered as being soft. Automatically. According to social norms. But let me see what y'all got. Queen said, my husband makes sure that he reaches out to me because we live, yeah, I already know that. But it doesn't give me a specific time, but we make it work. What streaming service do you use? I'll tell you that later. All right. I'll tell y'all that later. But yeah, so once again, give me the definition of a nurturer. Let me know what's the definition of a nurturer. Dealing with social norms. Because I guarantee dealing with social norms, culturally speaking, whenever you call a man a nurturer, they automatically think that dude a beta right off the bat. Right off the bat. Because in reality, it's not in a man's nature to be a nurturer. It is a woman's nature to be a nurturer. Our duty is to be the provider and protector, period. That's it. Nothing more, nothing less. But let's continue.
He got to get somebody.
SBK is running game.
He got
Okay.
to get somebody. Exactly.
He is running game.
That's his excuse. For
Oh,
why he
thank
can't
you,
date.
E.
Okay.
But
Exactly,
like I said,
E.
no, but like I said, he got 3 jobs. one of those jobs might drop off if you come in with some financial backing to help him where he can spend
Oh
more time
Lord,
with you.
Miss
Oh
Roxy.
Lord, look, this is what I'm looking at. I'm looking at a hardworking man that worked 3 jobs. He's trying to provide, like I said, what I said. He's trying to have a lifestyle. You want that lifestyle with him, then you got to come in with something to bring to the table too. So if you bring something to the table and show him that you're willing to bring something to the table, he'll drop off one of those jobs to be with you. And then the more
And not what she said, but the definitions that y'all put, I told y'all that's what y'all gonna do. Y'all's gonna give the actual definition, and that actual definition was intersexual, meaning that it could apply to both a man and a woman. But when you're dealing with social norms and you're dealing with culturally speaking, a nurturer is always point towards the woman. In every culture, in every ethnicity, all over the world, a nurturer is pointed towards the woman and not the man. And that's the point that I'm making. Whenever, culturally speaking, whenever a person whenever a person call a man a nurturer, I'm telling you that they see him as being a beta.
Beta.
Automatically. I'm telling you that they're seeing him as being soft. Automatically. Regardless of the definition. Regardless of the definition. So I guess he had not been a nurturer. I would have wound up these simple-minded women who believe this red pill foolishness. Well, check this out. Your father had did everything possible as a man to protect and provide to you, okay? But he was not a nurturer to you. Once again, he did everything possible to protect and provide to you, but he wasn't a nurturer to you. I'm pretty sure that those other outlets that provided that nurturer feminine energy, it may be with an aunt or a cousin, or any type of woman that was part of like a mentorship to you. But him doing that, no, not at all. Because if he were to operate in that, then I'm telling you, he'd been considered as a beta for real. Not sitting up here discrediting the things that your father did, and I'm not disrespecting your father or anything like that, but I'm just saying, culturally speaking, if that's what he did, then yeah, he'll be called a beta for real. But I'm pretty sure, just by what you said, that he's not a beta. He's just been a protector and provider to you. That's all. Nothing more, nothing less. You might have you as a woman may have or as a child may have interpreted as him being a nurturer, but no, he's not a nurturer. Not at all. That's why I put it to prove your point. Appreciate it, bro. She said, so I guess he not being a nurturer, I would have wound up like these simple-minded women who believe in this red pill foolishness. To be honest with you, like I say all the time about, red pill content and stuff, right? It's either for, you either agree with some of it or you disagree with it. Like I always say, there's certain stuff with them I agree with and this be spot on. There's other stuff I don't agree with at all, period. You know what I'm saying? But I'm not going to discredit it. You know what I'm saying? I'm not going to discredit it at all. There's like, other stuff out there. Like there are points that people who are feminists make and stuff, right? Where they start talking about, men unaliving women, men sitting up here doing things to, girls and children and boys and different things like that. I agree with them because that's true. That's the truth, because there are men who do that. There are men who have predatory behaviors for real. There are men out there who are literally simps and being predator towards women to get what they want out of them. That's the truth. I agree with that. But for us, the other stuff, concern where it's trying to create division and separation stuff, I don't agree with that. And that goes with either red pill or, feminist ideology. I don't believe in that at all, period. I believe that, in order for us to be successful as human beings, both men and women, we have to come to a point to where we could agree with each other. You know what I mean? That's how I see it. But let's continue.
What time you have with you, and you can respect him working those 3 jobs and call him sometime and say, "Are you busy?" He'll tell you if he is or not. And then if he is busy,
Max changed the picture too. I see you.
You just sit back and say, "Well, give me a call when you finish, and we can talk then." Sometimes you got to meet them where they are. not let them meet you where you are all the time. I
Miss-
mean,
Miss
that's just
That
my
is
opinion.
facts.
Miss-
That
Miss-
is facts, Miss Roxy. But SBK ain't doing that. I'm
He
trying to
ain't.
tell y'all.
He
Whoa,
ain't.
whoa, whoa, whoa.
Please don't let the smile and the cowboy hat
Exactly.
fool y'all up here and in the chat.
I want,
Stop
okay,
it.
so tell
Can you
so
please
what am
answer
I
this?
what am I
Can you
what am I
please
running
answer
game
Easler?
on?
Answer
What am I
Easler.
running game on?
Answer
SBK.
Easler.
I'm supposed to call you SBK when you're either at work or sleep on a panel.
But
She
that's
said
any
that
man,
question.
though. But that's any man. Men will make time.
And then she set up her pointing out like this is just a game winner shot, but it's not at all. It's not at all, man. It's not at all. That ain't never a good rebuttal at all. Period. Which I already proven it.
Time for you if they want you. Straight up.
Exactly, sis.
They
That
will
part.
make
I
time. They will
agree.
make if they really
I
want
agree.
you, they will make time for you.
Yes,
That's
they
it.
will.
That is true.
Exactly, sis.
So
The
you
problem
saying
is
you ain't seen nobody
I
out
see you,
here in
Max.
these streets that you want to make time for. That's what you saying,
Nope.
SBK? Is that what you saying?
What say what now?
Is you saying that you ain't got nobody out here in these streets that you want to make time for? That's what you saying? You ain't ran across Skit. You ain't ran across Skit.
Not yet. You know what I mean? Not yet.
Okay.
Because
Exactly.
the fact is that you and Bonds are talking shit. You know what I'm saying? You and Bonds are talking shit and don't
Wait.
y'all actually don't know. Yeah, I
Wait,
love
he get
both
the
of y'all.
cuss and see you and Vaughn talking shit.
Y'all talking shit.
SBK, I still love you too.
I love
Ain't no love lost.
no, I do, but
Lord
check this out.
Jesus,
The
Lord
thing
Jesus.
about it is that y'all talking. Timo, what's going on,
Jesus.
bro? That's day one right there. Look, y'all.
Okay. You know what I don't like? I don't like it when people do this to each other, right? And I'm gonna explain it. All right. Shadow, what's up with it? Welcome to the lounge for the first time. No, you've been watching in the bush too, brother, but welcome to the lounge. But I don't like it when people do this, okay? I don't like it when people try to take shots at you based on private conversations that you had with them. I don't like that. I believe that that's disrespectful. What do I mean? When E made that point where she's trying to re-emphasize somebody, oh, you really don't have no time for somebody? You really, really don't have no time for nobody out of the streets? Period? No, I don't. No, okay. Okay. To me, that's like taking shots at a person based on private conversations that you had. The reason why I don't like that is because in a way, that's a form of a way that not only you being disrespectful, but it deals with the ego because you want to be right so bad. Once again, it also deals with the ego because you want to be right so bad that you're willing to expose things that you talked on the back end just to prove a point. It's not cool at all. It's cool. That's not cool at all. Me personally, wherever I talk to someone, on the back end about situations, I'm not going to bring it. I'm not going to directly or indirectly bring it up into, like YouTube or different things like that. I'm just not going to do that, period. Unless that's something that we agreed upon to do. Now, if we had a conversation prior, like, hey, we're going to talk about this. Yeah. Hey, you mind if I don't bring this up, right? And they agree to that, that's different. But to sit up here and use that in a debate, knowing good and well, y'all done talk about this on the back end, and you trying to indirectly bring it up to prove an egotistical point? Hell no. It ain't cool at all. I'm just calling it for what it is. I'm reacting, y'all. Calling it for what it is. Calling it for what it is. Once again, Shadow, what's up with it, man? Welcome to the lounge, man. Shadow, he said this probably ran out of ice cream that day, Lionel. Max said, I have to listen to your spurts. Hey, man. Hey, I feel you on that, Max, because I know over here at the lounge, I'm not everybody cup of tea at all, because over here at the lounge, I do be keeping it real for real. I ain't lying. I be keeping it real over here, man, for real. So I trust me, I get it. It's no harm, no foul. You know what I'm saying? Max, she said this. Now that I can agree with, each interaction or relationship should be kept secret. Yep, I agree as well too. So yeah, that's something, and I ain't gonna say it because they're gonna take me to whole nother stuff that I don't want to talk about right now. But y'all get the logistics of that, right? So let's continue. Make sure y'all hit thumbs up as well too.
I'm talking shit, but y'all respectfully, y'all don't know what y'all talking about.
Then celebrating it as well too. Damn. Celebrating like she done won, like she just won. Yay! I finally got one. Yay! Women, their egos are something else.
I don't know what I'm talking about.
I don't see
Look,
that
Back
way,
on my
SBK.
troll.
Yeah,
Look.
see, look, Bonds. See, sis is trolling.
I love
You
it.
don't really know
she
the
trolling.
end. She's
trolling.
very much trolling.
Okay, she
She doesn't
trolling.
know the
Okay.
ends and Lionel. Look, you say what you say about Lionel and
You about to use Lionel as an example to
Yes.
win?
I am. I'm gonna tell you why.
You know it's bad when he got to go.
I'm gonna tell you why. I'm not
Go
just gonna
ahead.
use-
Go ahead.
Wait, let me finish. I'm not.
She said, you know it's bad when he have to use little bro. So what is she implying? Is she implying that Lionel is bad or he's a bad influence?
I'm just gonna say Lionel, but Joe is in the chat as well. Samoa Gorilla, if you highlighted, start his chat, he said as well. You know what I'm saying? Whenever they text me or whatever throughout the day, it takes a long. I'm a very busy man.
SBK, salute,
You know
bro.
what I'm saying? But I do get to their text. You know what I'm saying? I do get to what they send me. You know what I mean? It's not
Right.
you guys are referring to men that don't have nothing to do in life. You know what I'm saying? I'm an anomaly to some of these ninjas out here. I really am. You know what I'm saying? I'm a boss. Really. A lot of these ninjas like saying, I'm a boss, like it's a cliche in a rap song. You know what I'm saying? These ninjas are
But
out here.
you actually running companies, right?
I'm running business. You know what I'm
That's
saying?
right.
And sis is trolling. I love sis, but me, everybody loves when me and sis go back and forth. But she's trolling. She already knows what time it is. You know what I'm saying? She's trolling and she's getting a reaction, but she knows what time it is. I am a boss. You know what I'm saying? In all meaning of that word. You know what I mean? I have more responsibility than the average man, and that's facts, and that's the real deal.
Right.
Holyfield. And I would never lead a woman on. I would never lead a woman to think that I'm something. I would never play games with a woman. I would never sit there and lie to a woman. I'm too old for that. You know what I mean? You guys were pressing me last week about my age. I really do not have time. I lead
And
people.
you didn't tell us either.
Yeah, but you know,
Still
I
ain't
said,
So the reason why he didn't tell you is respectfully is really not none of your damn business is by the age. But I know the reason why y'all asking about his age because it's to prove y'all egotistical point, which it ain't gonna make no sense anyway. But let's continue.
Hold up.
I said what I said. You asked me. You said, why are you working so many jobs, SBK? I'm trying to rebuild my house. You know what I'm saying? I'm trying to rebuild my house. I still have I have a young one still here that I'm raising. You know what I'm saying? I do it all alone. You know what I'm saying?
Well, let me just say something.
Go ahead.
I salute. I really do take my hat off to you.
Yes, that's correct, Max. SBK, he's in the chat right now. He's in the chat right now, one of my moderators. So yeah, he's expressing his perspective about dating after 40. He is currently a single man and single father to be exact. He's a single father, and he's expressing his grievances about dating after 40. His whole stance about dating after 40 is this, and he can want to express this in the chat too. His stance is that dating after 40 is some absolute bullshit.
That's bullshit.
Respectfully. That's where his stance is at on that. You know what I'm saying? But he's in the chat. He could go into more details on explain that to you. Oh, matter of fact, I'll open up the panel as well too in a little bit.
For not bringing women in and out your house like that, because you have a daughter and you want her to respect you. And yeah, you do work a lot, but I really do admire the fact that you're not dating anybody just to have somebody, because you don't know how they're going to treat your child. You just don't. And some women will take care of your child and be nice to your baby, but it's just like a man. A lot of times men don't want your children, they just want you. And so some women don't want your child, they want you, and it's a package deal. And so I commend you for not just bringing anybody home and trying to
part is real.
And trying to make it and just trying to make it work just so she can have somebody else to depend on besides you. Because you
All right, so real quick, question in the chat right now. She had mentioned, mentioned this. She said that when you're either a single mother or you're a single father, right? It's a package deal. The package deal is that they have to accept you and also accept your child at the same time. How do y'all feel about that? I kind of want to pick y'all head on this one a little bit, because I got a perspective about this as well too. So how do y'all feel about this perspective? Do you believe that's suitable for a person to accept your child as a package deal? Do you think that's let me put it to you this way. Do you think it's fair for that person to accept your child as a package deal? If they don't accept your child, then they can't accept you. Put it in the comments. Let me know what y'all think about it, and I'll give you my perspective about that in a little bit.
You don't know how this person is really going to treat your child. And you definitely have to be careful about that.
And Queen, on a side note, I hate to interrupt you. On a side note, I have learned from trial, well, not trial and error. I've been burnt because I've actually had somebody in my house whenever I promised myself that I wasn't going to allow someone around my daughter and have my daughter attached to said individual, and I end up getting burned. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
End up getting, she ended up getting hurt. You know what I'm saying?
Exactly.
And that happened. You know what I mean? So you get, people talk a lot of, people say a lot of stuff, and look. I just look like this. I just look like this, man. People think that I play games or whatever just because.
No. SBK.
What? Let me finish, Barnes. I'll let you.
Go ahead.
People think that I might play games or whatever, but the thing about it is, I had to learn by trial and error. Okay, I had to learn by trial and error, not to just date just for the sake of people saying that you need to date. You know what I'm saying? I had to learn by trial and error, by just not, being in a rush to, just being with somebody, because it's not just me that I have to think about. You know what I'm saying? I have to think about my little one. You know what I mean? I can't bring any women up and in this house, you know what I'm saying? And I could, you know what I'm saying? I've had offers. I've had offers by a lot of different women. You know what I mean? But that's not who I am. That's just not who I am. And I have somebody, I don't want her looking at me saying, man, Daddy's got a whole bunch of, he got a whole stable. So I don't want that example, you know what I'm saying? So that's the reason why, I set that example of working and doing what I need to do, you know what I'm saying? So the reason why I mentioned Lionel and 2 Cent, Joe, who else? Other people who text me throughout the day, Jimbo, they text me throughout the day and I don't answer. Even sis, I don't answer throughout the day because I really am a boss. You know what I'm saying? I really do have I have a lot on, I can take it. I have a lot to
Yeah, and that's true. I can want to validate that as well too, because throughout the day and stuff, SBK would either reach out to me and check on me, or I want to text him as well too, and reach out to him. You know what I'm saying? And yeah, that dude is busy. I'm also a busy man too. You know what I mean? I'm busy too. Like they'll text me stuff. I probably won't get back with them, but probably like an hour later. Both of SBK and Lighter, they could contest to that for real. Like, damn, I text this dude Urban like almost an hour ago. He just not responded to me. Like, damn, bro. But it is what it is, because like I say, we should be about our Father's business, period. You know what I'm saying? But let's redirect and visit this question earlier that I was asking about this accepting the child part. All right, so let me give y'all my perspective on this, and this is what I learned through wisdom, okay? And what I'm about to go and say, I know it's nuance with it. I know that there's an exception to the rule, all right? And I'm going to give you the exception to the rule after when I give you my explanation behind this, all right? Me personally, I believe that anytime when either a man or a woman give that ultimatum saying that my children is a package deal, you should totally dismiss them right off the bat, because they're automatically being selfish right off the bat. They are. Now I want y'all to hear me out on this, okay? The reason why I say this. The reason why I say this is because of this reason. It is not that new man or that woman responsibility to help raise your kids. I'm saying it again. It is not that new man or woman responsibility to raise your kids, okay? The responsibility goes towards you and that man or woman that you procreated with. Now, just like I say, there are exceptions to the rules. Like, let's say, for example, if either one of them were to pass away, that's different. Let's say for example, that the person is a deadbeat mom or a deadbeat father. That's different. There's an exception to the rule. But generally speaking, right, when you both have active parents, active in their life, it is not for that new man and new woman responsibility to take care of your kids. That's between you and that co-parent, period. See, we get it twisted thinking that this other person is supposed to be taking care of your kids and raising them as they own and all the stuff there. But I call bullshit on that.
That's bullshit.
That's not their responsibility to do that, period. But however, if they agree to do that, then there's nothing wrong with that. Like say for in the sake of point, right? One of them where want to agree, like, hey, you know what I'm saying? Even though the co-parent is still there and they active, I still want to do a little something to, be that father figure or that mother figure, even though I know that their mother or father is still existing right now. I just want to participate in it. I just want to help assist y'all, right? There's nothing wrong with that. But literally sitting up here, stepping into that relationship and going into relationships where, a matter of fact, I'm put y'all this way too. These some of these men and women, right? They got shit like real twisted for real. They be knowing that they baby mama and they baby daddy is full of shit, and they be knowing right off the bat that they procreated with them, and knowing good and well that they cause all type of chaos and trouble. They have the audacity to enter into that relationship, not because they want to be happy, but because they so toxic as hell that they literally want to do something to one up that parent, that co-parent. I got a relationship. That's to piss them off and make them mad. That's why all this toxicity be happening, where, say you be pulling up and dudes be sitting here trying to fight over the child father because the woman that said some crazy stuff about them, or it be vice versa. No. That's some bullshit. Nope. Once again, that is them parents' responsibility to take care of their children, period. Not yours. So that's why I say that it is very unfair and unrealistic for you to have that expectation. And if they give you that ultimatum, tell them like it's either us, or none of us. You walk away because they being selfish. They're not even. And here's another thing too. Like a couple of months ago, we was talking about men's mental health. Right? Do y'all know that affects a man's mental health? Right? When you sit up here dealing with another man's child. Do you know that? Do you know that affects that dude mental health? Let alone, let's say that dude also have a child on his own too. He's also a single father, right? And he's going into your bullshit. And you have an expectation for him to take on your child as his own too while dealing with your crazy ass baby daddy? Shit. No. Not at all. Or vice versa. Nope. Not at all. But that's why I say what I said. You know what I mean? But let's continue, y'all.
Handle on these shoulders, I could take it. You know what I'm saying? No, I'm not complaining about that. But, first things first. You see what I'm saying? Business has to take precedence first before you go on to other things, if you know what I mean. And go ahead, Vaughn. The floor is now yours, sweetheart.
Okay, so I have a question, because business and, you got all these witnesses. Everybody know I don't text them back. So why have garden time, okay, if you can't get close like that with nobody, okay?
That is just the goal.
God damn it, Vaughn. She asked the same damn question almost like 30 minutes ago. That's why I was saying that I'm not even taking Vaughn serious at all, period. That's why I haven't even address a lot of things that she been saying or nothing like that, because I know that she's literally up there to troll. Like, I don't know. Like, I still have, some respect for Vance, but at the same time, you know what I'm saying, by me being around her in the YouTube streets, to be quite honest, it's like she done, I ain't gonna say it. Let's continue, y'all.
That's the goal.
What do you say?
That's
the goal.
That's a goal, Vaughn.
Yeah.
That's a goal. As a guy that's older and wiser, you know what I'm saying? You want finer things in life and you want the simplicity. Foxy, you know what I'm talking about, sweetheart.
I know exactly what you're talking about.
When you get older, you do not want to go out here in these streets and just be running up in anything, whatever. You want to have that stability and have that one person. When I'm talking about the garden, I'm just saying that's a goal. You know what I mean? I want to see my significant other butt naked in the garden and running up in behind her or whatever, and then we that's just a goal. You know what I mean? I'm not that's what I'm saying. If you understand what I'm saying. Did I answer?
So who asking you to call you all day then? I'm messing with you, SBK. I'm messing with you.
But I understand what you're saying, SBK. You're busy right now. You're busy right now. You don't want to. That was me before I met my husband and we got married. I didn't bring a lot of men. My daughter and them still laugh today that they could count all the men that I dated, that they even known that I dated on one hand, because you don't want to bring anybody and everybody around you.
Hey, Lionel, I'm sitting up here looking at the chat too of this stream. You sit up here talking about Vons ain't funny, get Vons out of here. You say the same thing over here too. Oh, goodness.
Because they gonna look at you as a revolving door. Well, who we got today and who we got tomorrow? I mean, is it that you need it that bad that you can't see, you got to have this person and that person, and you don't want anybody around your children because you don't know what's in their mind and what they're capable of doing.
Exactly.
You might have a woman come over and she might be mean to your daughter when you ain't around, but then when you come back around, she's sweet as pie. And I see where you're coming from. You got a daughter, it's a woman. And he wants his daughter to be raised right and be shown right. So when she get out here in the world as a woman, she know how to carry herself because her father taught her how to carry herself and how to be the woman she needs to be.
And it's a great example on social media. And I hate to see this clip. It's about this lady not feeding this dude's daughter but she feeds her kids. And I'm like, what the fuck? What are you doing? When I had my stepson, and to this day, my stepson still called me his mom, because when I had him, when I was married and I had my stepson with me, I made no difference at those kids.
I don't see nothing wrong with that. But by the way, if that person decide to feed their own kids, that is not their responsibility to feed all their kids unless they decide to do that. If they choose to do that, that's fine. But if they don't, then I don't see nothing wrong with that at all. Period.
Kids, and they will tell you I treated those kids just the same. And I feel like if you're going to marry somebody, or if you're going to be in a relationship with somebody and they have children, because as a woman and you have children, you want that man to take care of your children. So why can't women take care of a man's child whenever the child is around? And most of the time, it's not in is the a lot of dudes' children are not in SBK's position. Most dudes get their kids Monday, Wednesday, and every other Saturday. Is that the child support schedule?
Yeah.
Whatever the child support schedule is, and then they get them every other holiday and in the summer. So you really don't have to be bothered with that.
Okay. So the standard visitation order that she's talking about is this. According to the state of Texas, the standard visitation order is that you receive the child every other weekend, all right? Which this the 1st, the 15th, and 30th of every month, okay? And so within that, it includes the weekend. The weekend starts at 6 p.m. and it ends at Sunday at 6 p.m., all right? That's standard visitation order. Now, dealing with their holidays, the holidays rotate around, every other year. Like it rotates around odd years, okay, depending on what it is. Like, say, for example, Thanksgiving, 1 year during the even years month, right, the father would have them. Then the following year during the odd years, right, then the mother would have them, and vice versa. So that's pretty much the standard visitation order in the state of Texas, all right? Now, this Monday, Wednesday, and Friday thing, that's not part of the standard visitation order according to the Office of Attorney General, all right? That's something that people probably had agreed to do in that moment, you know what I'm saying, and they did it, but that's not the standard visitation order at all, period.
That child on an everyday basis. But when you are being bothered, when that child is coming to your house, that child should feel comfortable, and that child shouldn't feel any type of way just because your children are there. And I have seen that with my own eyes, not just on social media. I have seen women make a difference out of their man's kids and their children. And I can't stand that, because I love kids. I really, really do. And really, when I was a kid, I was made a difference. My grandmother made a difference out of me and my sister. So with me growing up that way, I know exactly how it feels to be treated different from other children. So that's one promise that I made to myself. No matter what, I would never treat children any different. These kids, if whatever kids at my house or whatever, they're gonna feel the love from.
But see, that's unrealistic though. That's an unrealistic expectation, because let's keep it a buck as well too. Every parent has their favorite child. Every parent has that child that they favor. Let's keep it. Can we just be real for one moment instead of faking the funk? All right. Once again, every parent has their favorite child that they favor. All right. A matter of fact, favoritism is a part of life. Period. Favoritism is part of the social culture. Period. It's part of the social norm. Whenever you go to work, right, do you have certain people who like this person more than another? That's favoritism. On YouTube right now, you have people who like content creators more than the other content creator. Favoritism. Favoritism surrounds our culture no matter what. So to be honest with you, it is very disingenuous to sit up here and say that, well, I'm not going to do that. I'm going to treat all kids respectfully the same. That's some bullshit, and you know that.
That's bullshit.
And on top of that, when you do things like that, you're literally enabling them. You're literally enabling them and telling them that in this false reality that I'm created for you, when you step out into the real world, it's going to be the same as that thing where it's all going to be peaches and cream and you're going to be accepted by everybody and every little thing. That is not true at all. No. That's not true. That's not true at all. A matter of fact, me as a father, I honestly teach my kids about favoritism. Like, hey, there are some things that you're going to get. There's some things that your brother going to get and you're not going to get. There's some things your sister going to get, you're not going to get. There's some things when y'all become older and go out into the world, you're gonna get, other people's not gonna get. Hell, if we can even make this talking about race as well too. There's some things that white folks is more privileged to get it than black people. There's some things that black people are more privileged than white people get it. There's some more things that Hispanics and Mexicans can get than Asian people. That's all part of life, period. But when you teach them that it's all peaches and cream, that everybody's the same and this feminist equal mentality, then you're enabling them. You're enabling them for real. I'm just saying.
Me, regardless of who they are and where they come from. And I detest people who do shit like
a matter of fact, one last thing too, and I just thought about this. Those of y'all who are religious or belonging to some type of religious organization, preferably Christianity, right? Don't y'all pastor teach y'all that favor ain't fair? Don't y'all pastor or apostle or first lady or whoever the hell it is, right? Separate to favor ain't fair. If God say it's okay, then it's okay. It's favor ain't fair. Don't they teach that, right? Don't they separate teach that God favors certain type of people, where God favored Jesus and he favored the apostles and different things like that? So even if the Bible teaches you that favoritism exists, why in the hell are you thinking that you can live in this perfect reality like it doesn't exist? That's crazy.
Like that. That pisses me off to the highest level of pissivity, is to mistreat a child.
I don't understand it, how you can mistreat
I don't
a
understand
child.
it either. I don't either.
Well, let me tell you, I got my daughter right here. And I'm asking her to call me out if I'm lying right now. And I told her to stay here and call me out. You online right now? You just say, "Daddy, you lying." But she has three. She has three older siblings right now. Okay. The thing that you're talking about, I said what I said. That I would never think about something like that. She has three older siblings, and I'm not their father. They have a father, whatever, but they look at me as a father figure. They can ask me for stuff, whatever, and I do it without any hesitation. Whenever they were growing up, and when they were growing up as little ones, I was taking them to school. I was paying for their lunch. Am I right? I was paying for, and you can say I'm wrong. Say, Daddy, I'm giving you permission.
Hey, SBK, not to sit up here and literally brought your daughter in the conversation. hey, my boy sit up here using this daughter as a stage prop, bro. Man, say, I could only imagine how your daughter was looking when you sit up her quizzing her like that. She was like, "Man, Daddy, if you don't leave me alone so I could go and be on TikTok, shit, I don't care. Yeah, okay. It's fine, Daddy."
They hear you. I was taking them to school. I was feeding them. I was taking care of them as well. And to this day, you know what I'm saying? To this day, they look at me as a father figure. You know what I mean? They have children of their own now. You know what I mean? And so they look at me as a father figure. You know what I'm saying? Just like a dad. And so I don't understand no shit like that, whatever. Because if my daughter's mom was alive right now, she would tell you. You know what I mean? Because to this day, you know what I mean? My daughter's sisters, they cash at me money, cash at me. Hey, I need this. Can you get me this? Whatever. I'm gonna do it. You know what I mean? Because that's the way it's supposed to be. You know what I mean? Because if their mama was alive, you know, their mama's not here. You know what I mean? All of us, you know.
So let me say this. It's not necessarily the way that it's supposed to be, but as him being the person that he is, this is what he's choosing to do. Now, notice that throughout this whole entire thing, by him explaining this right, he'll simply say that, hey, I'm a man. I had chose to do these additional things for children that they're not even mine, because I'm just a kind and decent human being. But it wasn't a requirement for him to do it. That's the point that I want y'all to understand. It was no requirement or obligation for him to do all that. He chose because he wanted to do that, which once again, it is nothing wrong with that. If you choose to do that, it is absolutely nothing wrong with that. You know what I'm saying? In fact, I commend you on that. This goes with the conversation I had over months ago, talk about men and chivalry and being a gentleman. Now, if a dude choose to be a gentleman for a woman that he don't even know, you know what I'm saying? Then that's fine. There's nothing wrong with that. But it shouldn't be no expectation or no obligation for him to do that. All right? Well, let's continue.
You know, these young people need guidance. I love what you just said. Okay, baby, you go. These young people need guidance. You know what I'm saying? We were all young at one point in time. You know what I mean? We all didn't get it right. But we have to remember that we didn't get it right when we were young. So how are we going to sit there and judge these young people and talk down to them when we should be helping them? We should be mentoring them. You understand what I'm saying? So that is the life of SBK, ladies and gentlemen. You know what I'm saying? That's the life of SBK. Go ahead, Bonds.
I want to say this, SBK. Okay. So remember that day you said, and I don't know in what context you meant, but remember that day you said, you was a little envious, or whatever you said when you was complimenting. So I'm going to be transparent and say, even though I'm up here messing with you, okay, I don't see anything wrong with you being selfish and using your time wisely and, taking care of business. And because in my opinion only, you're doing what's best for you. You're doing, what's right and what honestly most, young people don't do. Okay. So I'm just messing with you. I don't think, I don't take anything that I'm saying, like I think you're a bad person or anything like that.
No, not at all. Not at all.
Okay, yeah.
Okay,
but
you Bonds, I could take you trolling. I don't
because people get mad at me for real. So I be having to make stuff clear. But
I want to hit my head on this mic so damn bad, man. Okay, those of y'all in the chat who just heard this right, please make sense of what Vance was saying, man. Please make sense of it. Please make sense of this, because her response to this, she was saying that she believed that it's okay for SBK to be selfish. So I'm trying to understand where selfishness equates to where he was talking about by him being a provider for children that is heels and not heels. Where does that come from? Because I'm not getting that connection at all, period. I don't understand that. Maybe this was another one of her around trolling moments where she was up there and just saying any old crazy ass thing just to hear herself talk, or I don't know, but I don't know. It don't I don't know. It doesn't make any sense to me. That point, it does not make any sense to me at all. I'm
So I love when you troll. I love what this perpetrating cowboy had.
Other than her just saying any old crazy thing to troll, then
wearing
so if that be the case, she didn't have to get on the panel do all that. She could have just stayed in the chat to troll. If she wasn't going to bring like real value into the conversation, I'm just saying.
To me, I love when she trolls me. You know what I'm saying? I love when y'all troll me.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? It's just we all family here. We can troll each other and be respectful. I love it. I can take it. I can take it. You should have to.
Yeah, but there's nothing wrong with you. I think, and that's why I say a lot of stuff in the chat. You know, Miss Roxy had me in my feelings earlier. But you know, when you are when you have the opportunity to get it right, you know, or you know, do right and be a little, you know, because people, you know, we when we call people selfish or we say selfish, you know, it means something negative. But there is a such thing as self-love and self-care, and I believe that that requires us to be a little selfish, you know, and you know, there's nothing wrong with that. You know, there's nothing wrong with that. So I just want to, you know, make that.
So I'm still trying to figure out, what does self-love have anything to do with what he just said a few moments ago? Like, just like I say, I mean, I don't know. For the first time tonight, y'all, I'm listening to a person, and my mind is just like it just playing elevator music right now, because even my mind is trying to process this. It is like, man, I can't help you on this one, bro, because I don't even know. So
Clear.
And I
You know,
commend you.
so I'm really just hating on you, bro. I'm just hating on you. That's all.
Wow, Vaughn, I'm surprised of you. But I just want to say this also. My ex-husband got married again, right? And he had a baby. Matter of fact, he had that baby while I was married to him. But the little girl didn't ask to be here. And I always wanted my son to know his siblings. So I would let his sister come to my house and let her spend, you know, at least a month in the summer, just so that they can know each other and so that they could, you know, have that close relationship. And everybody just thought I was crazy. Like, why are you doing that? He had that baby while y'all were married. And I'm like, that's the past. The baby didn't ask to be here, but Intel is still my son's sister.
Yep.
Okay. And so I can't get mad at the child because of what his dad did. But, you know, and she loved her brother. And they was really, really close. So she would call and ask, can she come to my house in the summer? And I would actually let her come because I had no animosity. Because with me, if the thrill is gone, it's gone, and I really don't care what you do. So I'm not a bitter person. If I end a relationship with you, I still can be your friend or be at least respectful to you or whatever. But I always try to look at the bigger picture, because to this day, my son and his sister are very, very close, and that's the way that I wanted it to be. Because I just don't think you should put kids in grown people's business, and whatever happened between parents don't have anything to do with the children. And so she still respect me, and I still respect her. And at first, her mom was leery because she didn't understand why I would let her daughter come to my house. But my ex-husband told her. He said, that's the safest place she can be. I can tell you that about it. She may be a lot of things, but what she's not going to do is hurt your child. She's not going to hurt our child. She's going to be very nice to our child, and that's exactly what I did. And I treated her just like she was another kid in my house. I didn't make any difference with her or my son, and because I love kids, and I really do. And like I said, it wasn't.
Yep, I'm a call bullshit on that.
That's bullshit.
I am, because I know that she's saying this so she could be part of the decorum of the conversation, but in reality, I know that she's withholding a lot of information. In reality, she may have accepted that child as her own, but truthfully, she was showing favoritism. It ain't nowhere around that. She was showing favoritism. There are certain things that her actual attribute is more privileged than the other child, and vice versa. She might be showing favoritism with the other child towards her own children. But either way it go, she was showing favoritism. But the thing about it is that we look at favoritism as though it's just something negative. Can it become that way? Yes. Can it become toxic? Absolutely it can. But in hindsight of it, right, favoritism is not something necessarily negative. It's something that is natural, a normal, natural human phenomenon that we just deal with. You know what I mean? It is what it is, period. About in 6 minutes, y'all, I'm going to drop the link and I'm going to open up the panel for y'all to want to come up and give y'all perspective of this particular show tonight. All right, so here we go.
Her fault, huh?
I want to tell y'all a story. I shouldn't be telling this, but I want to tell you a story that's kind of similar. A few months before my daughter's mom passed away, she was dating this guy, right? She was dating this gray looking ninja, right? You know what I'm saying? So I would pick up my daughter, you know what I'm saying? We would go out for the weekend or whatever, right? So whenever I would always pick my daughter up and I would pick her up, and Joe knows this to be the truth because I would have Joe on speakerphone in case I would go back to jail, or I do something to you know what I'm saying, that would be detrimental to me going to the penitentiary or whatever, right? So this dude that she was dating was always there, and my daughter's mom and I always had a great relationship as far as just talking about anything. So whenever I would go and pick up my daughter, the dude would be there, and my daughter's mom and I would just be talking like we were best friends, you know what I'm saying? And she was one of my best friends, I'm gonna be honest with you, you know what I'm saying? And so dude have a
Yeah, I understand what you're saying, Max, for us the nurturing part, stuff like that. And I'm not discrediting her for taking her in as her own. But that's not the point that I'm making. The point that I'm making is that even by doing that, there's still going to be a level of favoritism that's going to be involved in that. Her whole argument was that she don't believe in showing favoritism. But my whole response to that is that it's part of the human experience for you to have favoritism. There's nothing wrong with having favoritism as long as the intentions is pure behind it. That's the whole point that I'm making about it.
The dude had a major problem with it. Now he never did, of course, he ain't gonna tell me about that. You know what I'm saying? He ain't gonna tell me about that. You know, never mind, that's not important. He ain't gonna tell me about that, but he would tell her, and she would tell me and think it was funny. You know what I mean? So me being the a-hole that I am, I would say certain things to try to instigate things, and the dude, of course, would not say anything, right? You know what I mean? And of course, my daughter's mom would come back and tell me, "Yeah, you said such that dude felt some type of way." Well, I'm like, "Do something." You know what I mean? Do something.
Wait a minute.
Let me
run that back real quick. Let me run that back. So I got to say where he's coming from.
At first, her mom was leery because, you know, she be very nice to her child, and that's exactly what I did. And I treated her just like she was another kid.
This because I would have Joe on speakerphone.
You said I don't think her intentions were pure. I believe that her intentions could be pure, right? But I believe that she's being disingenuous about her whole concept about favoritism. You know what I'm saying? Now, I believe that, that's being, a kind woman and stuff that, she did what she did to take care of them children, the ones that was hers and wasn't hers. But I believe it's disingenuous for her to say that she wasn't showing favoritism behind them, but in reality, she were. But yeah, I want to run this back because I was listening to I'm trying to listen to what SBK was saying. I need to process this a little bit. But go ahead.
In case I would go back to jail, or I do something to you know what I'm saying, that would be detrimental to me going to the penitentiary or whatever, right? So this dude that she was dating was always there, and my daughter's mom and I always had a great relationship as far as just talking about anything. So whenever I would go and pick up my daughter, the dude would be there, and my daughter's mom and I would just be talking like we were best friends, you know what I'm saying? And she was one of my best friends, I'm gonna be honest with you, you know what I'm saying? And so the dude had a major problem with it. Now he never did, of course, he ain't gonna tell me about that, you know what I'm saying? He ain't gonna tell me about that, never mind, that's not important. He ain't gonna tell me about that, but he would tell her, and she would tell me and think it was funny, you know what I mean? So me being the being the a-hole that I am, I would say certain things to try to instigate things. And the dude, of course, would not say anything, right? You know what I mean? And of course, my daughter's mom would come back and tell me, yeah, you said such, that dude felt some type of way. Well, I'm like, do something. You know what I mean? Do something. You know, me and you, those are my kids. You know what I'm saying? Even though those are my kids, you know what I'm saying? So, you know, do something. You know what I mean? You want to do something, jump, but you're not going to do that. You know what I mean? Because you are a BAN. You know what I mean? But that was just me and my mind.
BAN.
BAN. You know what I'm talking about?
Bitch ass ninja.
Oh, okay. I know what a BON is. Okay, I was like, what is a BAN? But yeah, go ahead.
Yes, BAN. So the thing about that is, the reason why I'm telling that is because the dude ended up leaving, and he did not like the dynamic that I had, not only with the children, because he was just, I'm gonna just be honest with you, you know, she knows she's looking down on me right now, and just, she would tell the truth. All the dude was there for was, you know, for one thing, you know what I mean? But I'm gonna be there regardless, whether you like me or not. Okay. So I'm saying all that to say this, you know what I'm saying? There are not very many men out there that are going to do the right thing in the interest of their children, all right? And in the interest of keeping the peace between said individuals when it comes to your daughter's mom or your son's mom, baby mama, baby dad, whatever you want to call it, you know what I'm saying? They're not going to do what's necessary, because what I did, you know, and yeah, I wish I almost turned the camera on my daughter, you know what I'm saying? And she would have told the truth. But there's been times when now I've had girlfriends, ladies and gentlemen in the chat. I've had girlfriends they broke up with me because of things that I've done, as far as, you know, my daughter's mom needed lights to be paid, needed bills to be paid, and she was a hardworking woman, you know what I'm saying? So I helped out because my kids are in there, you know what I'm saying? That my children are there. So I'm not going to let them go waterless or electricity, not running electricity. I'm not going to do that. You know what I mean? If I was like one of these ninjas out here, I'd be like, I've already paid much, but I didn't pay child support. I didn't have to pay child support. You know what I'm saying? I gave her money each week. It was an agreement. You know what I mean? I didn't have to pay child support.
I got a lot to say about this one, but in this particular part about him saying he didn't pay child support, it's true that he didn't pay legal child support, okay? But you were still paying child support. You're still paying child support. The only difference is that you didn't go through the office of Attorney General to do it. And to prove this point right, let's say that you wasn't doing all this stuff, right? Let's say that you wasn't paying her rent, paying her electricity bills, and all different like that. You wasn't provided for y'all child. I guarantee that she would have put you on child support quicker in a hurry, respectfully, because that's how women are. I don't care how cool they are, how nice they are, how wonderful they are. When it come down to it and stuff, and they see that you're not doing what you're supposed to do as a man, and they feel like you're not doing that, yeah, they'll put you on child support so darn fast. Sure will. And will request some back child support as well too. And guess what? And here's another part about this that men need to understand about child support too, is that do you know that regardless you paying bills for her and you giving her cash and different things like that, do you know that the courts, the Office of Attorney General is not going to consider that as child support payment? They consider that as a gift legally. So all that money that you gave and stuff, it's not going to be a part of the actual child support period. So you literally just giving away free money. But I'm gonna let him finish his point because I do got some stuff I want to say about this on cool though.
Sport. I'm one of those guys that I did what I need to do. You know what I'm saying? So and I paid her each week. You know what I mean? I don't understand a ninja that pays child support. If that's your kid, then you make an agreement with your said individual and do what's necessary. Don't let these folks get in your life. You know what I mean? I truly believe in that. You know what I mean? If people disagree with me, that's fine. But I feel like that if you love your children and if you love your kids or whatever, then you're going to do what's necessary to take care of your kids and make sure that the mother of your children are going to be fine. That's the way I am. You know what I mean? Up until my daughter's mom passed away. So the dude was not contributing to helping my daughter's mom at all with the children. And I told him to get out. You know what I mean? I told him to get out. I sure did. You know what I'm saying? And I gave him an ultimatum. I actually didn't talk to him, but I told her, before you talk to him, you don't want me to talk to him. You know, you in here, you're eating up the food and so forth and so on or whatever, but either and you're getting free cooter and all that. You know what I'm saying? Either you tell him or I am. You know what I mean? And he left. You know what I'm saying? So
SBK.
All right, so let me give y'all my perspective on this side because it's a lot to unpack on this. But one of the main things that I want y'all to understand, and respectfully, SBK as well too, since he's telling the story, is this. Respectfully, you were still in love with your child mother, bro. Let us call it for what it is. You're still in love with her. You're still in love with her, and to be quite honest, based on the story that you're telling right now, you're still in love with her, and you became territorial. You felt like that. You felt like by her bringing this new guy into the picture, that this dude was going to automatically, possibly, steal not only the woman that you still in love with during that time, but also steal away your child as well too, as trying to prove to be a good father. You know what I mean? But at the same time, the dude entered into the relationship where, like I was telling y'all earlier, right? Well, when I was the way I was telling y'all earlier, is that he did not have the expectation of being that child's father. He was only there for one reason only, and that was for her. Okay? So he's not under no obligation to take care of y'all child, like I stated earlier. He's not under no obligation to do that because it's not his kid. That's y'all responsibility, not his. You know what I mean? And another one part of this too that I don't agree with. It's the whole point that why they was in a relationship with each other. You know, all the indirect and all the indirect trolling and stuff too. You know what I mean? To be quite honest, that's disrespectful as hell. And the reason why I'm feeling this way about this is because I have experienced that. When when me and my wife had divorced, right? She did the one same as that thing where eventually she started dating this dude, right? She started dating this dude with the intentions, not because she's trying to move on from me, but she was doing it purposely to date this dude, to weaponize this dude, to make me become jealous of their relationship. And my mind said I didn't give a damn about their relationship at our period. I didn't care. As long as our children was okay, as long as I still had access to be a co-parent to my children, that's all that mattered to me. So the problem that I had was is that she was already doing these different things and stuff, right? And on top of that, she allowed that dude access to be a father to our children. She literally gave this dude permission to be a father to our children, meaning that she gave this dude permission to discipline our children and all kind of stuff. I didn't agree with that at all, period. And you want to know what her response back was on that? Her response was talking about, you don't control my household. He could do whatever he wants to. And it instantly created friction between me and him because she designed it that way. She did. She made the choice to want to make it more than what it is. She did that. So it created friction. And on top of that, this dude ego got boosted way up. And so you want to know what she was doing as well too? True story. And I even got the text message to prove this to y'all. She was literally sitting up here having this Negro texting me with threats and all kind of crazy ass stuff. All because she gave that dude access. All because she was sitting up here pillow talking to this dude. All because all in all, deep down inside, she was still in love with me. And she just wanted to see me suffering and hurt because she was still in love with me. The whole point that I'm saying to you on this, bro, respectfully, is that was the same exact situation where low-key, you still have feelings for her and stuff, right? And you didn't even give that dude the opportunity to express himself at all, period. You didn't even give him an opportunity to show what type of man he could possibly be towards her. And respectfully, all he was doing is just being there for her. He wasn't, based on what you was telling me, he wasn't there to try to overstep his boundary as being a father and different things like that, because that's between you and her. And another thing too, respectfully speaking, again, right? By you, still, y'all at that time, y'all broken up or whatever and stuff, right? And you still like paying for her rent and different things like that. You paying for her rent, utility bills, or I don't know, car note, whatever case may be. Respectfully, bro, that is a simp move for real. Because after when y'all want broken up from each other, right? That is not your obligation to take her no more. That's not your obligation to be that protection or provision for her, because she forfeited that right. Your responsibility is for you to be a co-parent. That's it. Meaning that you take care of y'all children. That's it. Whatever happened to her, she's a grown-ass adult. She could take care of herself. She was a grown-ass adult prior before she met you, and sure hell, she could be a grown-ass adult after the fact where y'all have broken up, respectfully. So all that honestly is a simple move. And trust me, bro. I understand the why behind it. The reason why behind it is what I stated on my other streams, right? Where I told you that we have been programmed, we have been conditioned by older school people that this is the bullshit that we're supposed to do to prove that we're men. To prove that we're literally men. Yeah, you're supposed to, even though you're broken up, you're supposed to still take care of her and different like that. That's the bullshit that Derrick Jackson be saying. That's the bullshit that Steve Harvey be saying. Well, since you broke it up, you still got to take care of her because she's the mother of your children. Bullshit. She's a grown-ass adult. She could take care of that child without you. But it's your responsibility to be the co-parent. You don't have to do all the extra stuff, because guess who's benefited from that? You're not benefiting from that. She is. She is. And then, like I say, I'm just telling you this because this is something that I personally experienced. I was the dude, the same dude that you were saying that the same time where you saying you was going around trolling that dude and saying all this stuff and saying, going back and talking and stuff like that. I was that dude. What she did to me. Respectfully. And I was that dude, like, y'all know how I am. How the way I am, I'm like this in real life, for real. You know what I mean? Where I'm cool with people, I'm respectable, but I'm straightforward and honest as well, too. I'm like that with everybody, even with people I don't met. So even when she indirectly introduced the dude to me, right, I was still cool with her. At that moment, I was cool, like, okay, that's what's up, But after when she started pillow talking to that dude and doing all this weird stuff, that's when our relationship went down the drain instantly. This dude, matter of fact, I put it out this way. It had got so damn bad between us that we literally had to show up to the police station just so we can want to do our visitation with our children. That's how bad it got. All because of fucking pillow talking. All because you want to sit up here and troll and do all this weird stuff. All because grown adults don't want to be a grown adults. Grown adults don't want to get over it and move on. We literally had to go to a police station and meet up at a police station because she was literally sitting up here having this nigga buck up to me and try to fight me over something I had nothing to do with. All because she's up in her damn feelings. So that's the reason why I'm sharing this with you respectfully is because and I know this is the past, bro. I get it, but at the same time, this is an accountability moment, bro, where that wasn't cool at all. Period. It wasn't. That wasn't cool. You can't control who she date or who she want to be with during that particular time. You can't do that. You can't sit up here and prove yourself to, prove that you're the better man to this dude. That's not cool. That's wrong. Period. You know what I'm saying? So just like I say, respectfully, I hope that you don't take it the wrong way, bro. But I'm just being honest with you about this. You know what I'm saying? Based on my personal anecdotal experience of dealing with situations like this. And to top it off, right, I would say this. I would say that in both me and your situation, right, we are very, very lucky. We're very lucky that we survived situations like that. Because you want to know why? Because these very situations what we see on YouTube all the time or see on the news where all of a sudden people end up getting shot and killed and murdered over some stupid shit like this. All because we all want to be immature and we all want to beat our chest and be all egotistical and stuff. People die over stuff like this, but we're fortunate that we're here and we could tell the story, bro. But like other people can't tell that story at all, man. I'm just saying. Other people can't tell that story. So they like say respectfully, it does. They like say I know this was a past story, but I just wanted to tell you about that. That's showing it from you from a different point of view, man. You know what I'm saying? And that's to consider it. All right. But that's been 6 minutes as well too. So I'm gonna leave it right here. I'm going to go ahead and open up the panel because I didn't do it last night and I promised I was going to do it tonight. So I'm going to go ahead and open up the panel for y'all to want to come in. Y'all want to come in and call in and have a conversation with me. By all means, pull up and have the conversation with me as well too. Y'all let me know what y'all think about part 3 of the show as well too. How you feel about it? Do you agree with the things that the panelists are talking about right now for us, SBKE, Foxy, Von, and I say what I said. Do you agree with them? Do you disagree with them? Y'all let me know. Also, what about my point of view on this? Do you agree with my point of view on this or you disagree? Let me know. And I know y'all been cooking in the chat all day and I appreciate that a whole lot. Thank you. Appreciate it. Appreciate y'all. So, let's see. Lionel, he said this, my brother's father should have never paid child support. I hope my brother's father should have never paid child support. I hold my mom accountable for that and my sister dad. Max says some are ill will, some are not. Agree with on that. Yeah, my ex-witch. Max says, sound like you're speaking from experience instead of opinion, Urban, which I understand and it makes sense. Yes, I'm speaking in that situation. I am speaking from experience for real because I dealt with that, and I know how it is. Trust me, I know how it is. A lot of things, a matter of fact, a lot of things that I talk about on the lounge, I'm speaking from experience. I'm not just speaking based on my opinion or how I feel about it, different like that. A lot of things we talk over here is based on me dealing with this. And so I had learned lessons from this, and now I'm just sharing it with people so they could be aware of it, even if you agree with it or not, or if you don't agree with the presentation of it or how the way I present it. But the fact remains is that I have the actual experience to talk about it. You know what I mean? So, yeah. And to be honest with you, that makes me different from, like other content creators that talk about, like different relationship content, or as you say, Maximilian, talk about real pill content. That would make me different is that I'm not talking about this just because, it's just something to talk about on YouTube. I'm talking about it because I literally experienced a lot of things that I cover on the show for real throughout my life. You know what I mean? And I learned from it. So, I learned from it. Like I say, got to keep it 100. I'm not respectful of these juggers will eat you alive. Got you. Lionel says he don't agree with the women. This is part 3. Apparently, I need to go all the way back. Yeah, this part 3 of it because they live is, I believe it's like 6 hours long. Is it? Yeah, it's almost like 6 hours long. So I have to want to break it down and stuff. So yeah. That's how we speak from. It's from experience. Yeah, over here at the lounge, that's how we speak on. We speak from experience over here. We don't just be making up stuff as we go. You know what I mean? So that's what it is. So if nobody else don't want to hop up on the one panel, hop up on the link and stuff like that, then that's cool and stuff. I'm not gonna force y'all. I'm not gonna make y'all come up here, and if that's like that, I'm cool with that. All right. So other than that, if that's it, then we'll just call it a night with the show. Y'all let me know what y'all think about this show tonight. Y'all let me know what you think about my perspective on all this, especially the last part as well too, because like I say, I just wanted to be as respectable as possible on this last part. You know what I mean? Because like I say, I get where SBK was coming from on that, but at the same time, you know, I got to be bro on that and call it for what it is. You know, Lionel, what's up with it, bro?
What's up, man?
Yeah, good. We good tonight, bro. We good. What you
No,
got
you've been
on
doing
tonight?
great, man. You've been doing great. Hold on, I'm trying to get my stuff together. You know I'm at work.
Oh yeah, making that money.
That's not how they gonna look at it. We're trying to make the customers happy.
To answer Queen, Queen, if you're still viewing the show, to answer your question, the software that I use is Ecamm. Okay, now Ecamm is way more complicated than StreamYard. All right, I know that a lot of y'all kind of tired of StreamYard, but yeah, I've been tired of StreamYard almost like 5 years ago. How long I've been doing my streaming? Probably longer than that, 2, 3, 5 years or whatever. So I got tired of StreamYard a long time ago. So the one time I use StreamYard is what I'm doing right now. Like right now, the one time I use StreamYard is when I invite people up on the panel, because you know you got some people who are scared to cam up. You know, not talking about you, Lionel. I know you're a cam up, but you got other people who are afraid to cam up. So I just use StreamYard for that. You know what I'm saying? As a matter of fact, I'll show you. So this StreamYard right here, but I'm using StreamYard in Ecamm. So, but yeah, what you got with it, bro?
The original question: who plays more games over the age of 40, men or women? It's women. Like, it's women. And I use a lot of older people as example also. Talking to numerous women that are legitimately over 40, and they're showing me their dating apps, their text messages, their DMs. These dudes are pretty much straightforward. They want the box. They want the booty. Can't get more straightforward than that. Or they want to be a sugar baby. That too.
Interesting.
So I'm lost on how these men could possibly be playing these games when they're pretty much straightforward with what they want.
Yep. So in the first 2 parts of this series that we're doing, right? I actually was proving on Lionel's point that we're very straightforward. Men are very straightforward about their intentions, but however, it's women, on the other hand, who are not honestly straightforward with their intentions. They want a dude to quote unquote work for, you know, whatever it is that they're trying to accomplish, whether it's trying to smash them or even be in a relationship.
And then, of course, the last 30 years has proven that point too, on who plays more games. We want men to be more sensitive. We want men to be more in touch with their feminine side. We want men to treat us like equals and partners. We want to be able to carry the load. Go back to them 80s conversations. So what did the men do? All of that. And what are they getting in return? Clap back. We didn't ask you to do this. We didn't mean it like this. Sound like a lot of games getting played from one side.
Yep, that's what it sounds like. Sound like games been played for real. And then remember what I said on the other shows, that the best way for a man to win the game is for them not to play at all.
Mhm. But then think about that one, because what are the women saying? These dudes got to have game to get with them. Then when you try to bring that up, they got to have a little game. So in their mind, they still talking about it. But I agree with you.
Mm-hmm. Absolutely.
As for the conversation on tonight, the problem is this spans the last 3 videos. What have the women been doing to SBK the whole time? Telling him this isn't what you think. You don't really believe this. They're literally been telling him that whole night what his thoughts are, or what they should and should not be.
So is it safe to say that they been manipulating him throughout
Yup.
that whole stream?
That's exactly what I was going at. They've been trying to manipulate him that whole stream.
Mm-hmm.
It just don't sound like you.
So where's the SBK that we know?
But that's disrespectful. Even on this stream, with them saying that, they're literally proving who playing more games. This dude literally opening up, talking his talk, being vulnerable, expressing himself, and they're trying to manipulate how he thinks, which direction his mind should be going.
Mm-hmm.
They're answering their own question on this stream.
Yep. And so why do you think that's so, bro? Why do you believe that they do that? That they're trying to be manipulative.
They don't have a choice. It's in them. They don't have a choice.
So it's part of their DNA?
Yeah.
To be that way?
It's part of their, I would argue more so part of their upbringing. But they don't have a choice. That's just what they do.
Man, wow.
You see it. We've literally been watching it for the last 3 nights.
Mm-hmm. Oh, appreciate it, Max. Appreciate you pulling up to the lounge.
And then they don't want to admit it. Even when it's literally presented right in front of them.
So, question: do you believe that all hope is lost? Do you believe that women could change and, as they say, do better?
What is do better though?
Yeah, because according to SBK, he was saying that do better. It was focused towards men, but you know,
the men are the ones that keep changing for the women. The women keep changing for themselves.
Mm-hmm.
At least that's what the last 35 years been showing.
Yeah. So Max, she said, I don't think he was manipulated at all. He spoke his piece and they spoke their piece.
Okay. So he wasn't manipulated because he didn't allow himself to be manipulated. But they were absolutely trying to be manipulative. It's literally there. Now we're a little too focused on connotations by making manipulation seem negative. In their mind, I don't think they were trying to be malicious with it, but they were absolutely being manipulative.
Mm-hmm. Yep. Even the last point I made about the situation with SBK on, what do you think about that?
Y'all be messing with some ratchet women. Y'all got to choose better. I definitely think. I mean, the last serious chick I had, again, she tried to send me to. No, she didn't. She sent me to court though. She was definitely coming after me. She definitely had dudes sending me death threats and all types of shit. And I get it. Hey, I was still hung on her too though. So that shit hurt.
Mm-hmm.
But no, I agreed with you. I mean, I can't even add anything. I mean, I agreed with you. But he did get out of it, so that's what's important.
Yeah, most definitely. Most definitely. That's why I kept re-emphasizing that. I knew that was a situation that happened in the past, you know.
Yeah.
Yeah, but at the same time, you know, it is what it is.
I mean, she was probably on that Harley Quinn crazy crap. That's probably why he was so hung on her. I get it. But yeah, I mean, if it's gone, though, I mean, I don't want to say if. Since it's, again, behind him, I definitely understand. But I also understand if he still feels some type of way about it. Because, you know, you put your time, your heart, your energy into this crap, and you get a negative outcome.
Mm-hmm.
You ain't supposed to feel happy about it.
Yeah.
When Urban talks about his former witch, I mean, she was trying to cast all type of voodoo in that relationship, and you just be sounding so annoyed when you talk about her.
Mm-hmm. And the crazy part about it is that now we have a great co-parent relationship, but
I know
in the past and in the beginning,
exactly.
not at all.
That's what I mean. When you're actually talking about that past, you remember yourself in that situation, so that's how your emotions reflect it.
Mm-hmm.
Everything can't be the yellow brick road.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, of course. Max, she also followed up and said that she said if that were the case, he wouldn't have been able to get any points across just because they may not have received his points. Doesn't mean he was manipulated. Sounds like you are trying to make him out to be what you perceive it.
Wait, but I never said he was manipulated. Is this another woman trying to manipulate what I'm saying? Because I'm pretty sure if you rewind this, I outright said he wasn't manipulated. I stated that they were being manipulative. They were trying to manipulate him, but he didn't let that happen.
Yeah.
Dude on Super Saiyan God mode that night.
Now to be truthful about it, Max, he didn't say that they was manipulating him. All right, but I was the one who actually said that, not him. He said that was being manipulative, but I'm the ones that said that was manipulating him.
Dude was on Super Saiyan God mode that night. Y'all weren't changing his tune that night. That's how SBK need to be every night. Dude was on Black Lesnar time.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. Finally, Max, she said, sounds like we now understand how much men are vital in the upbringing of our young boys. Yeah, I agree with that.
I agree.
Yeah, because
depending on the man.
Yeah, exactly. Because we are for real. But the thing about it is that we got to be in our place as men, period, anyway, for us to be that vital part of these young men's lives. You know what I mean? We got to be there. And like what was that? Was that part one of the show when I went in that whole rant tangent when I was saying that it was the men's fault that we was in this dating situation? Yeah, that was part one.
You've said this before though on other shows. So, and remember, I came in late on that first show.
Yeah. So yeah, I did a whole rant on that, telling on y'all that this whole data scene, respectfully, is the men's fault.
It is.
It's the reason. It's our fault because the way that it is. Period. You know what I'm saying?
Because they wanted to take a knee.
Mm-hmm.
They wanted to submit.
Vaughn, salute, welcome.
Oh no.
Hello, Mr. Lounge.
Welcome to the stream. Yeah, what you got on the topic?
Well, I will say I see you did a part 1, 2, and 3, reaction. You done or you still going?
I'm gonna go as long as I'm going to go. Yep.
Oh, okay. Well, I just would like to say so far what I've seen, and I don't always, agree with everything that you say. And I just I'm a little lost. I'm a little lost because I think the live stream was a great live. I think we all had a good time. And I like SBK, so I don't okay, I'm gonna say what you said. So you were like, oh, when a woman say, you a teddy bear, they really saying they don't respect you, or they think you soft. And I'm like, whoa, what? That is not at all what I think about SBK. What makes you say that? You know?
Hmm.
So I'm like, I would never, want him to feel that I think that way. When I was saying it, to me, it was like, I'm not gonna say what I was really thinking, because
Uh-oh.
it's really not, everybody's business what I'm thinking for real. But it was
Uh-oh.
like I don't think that the man is soft, I don't think I think a lot of him actually. And I'm just like, well, what make you say that?
So
We don't
whenever
we don't respect him. It's like, wait a minute.
when you personally was mentioning that to him, right? Um,
Hmm.
explain that to me. What was your whole point about it? Your whole
That
meaning behind it?
Okay, so and if SBK is listening, I can, you know, because when I was teasing, up on the panel, and I'm like, see, I was right, I
Oh, thank
think
you,
it,
Max.
I
Oh, you go
think
ahead.
it
Sorry.
means, to me, it's just saying, yeah, he's, a pretty decent man, but he got his wild side, and there's nothing wrong with that. I feel like, in any human being, there should be a balance, and I feel like he's the type of man, that will, take care of you as a man should, but he ain't for none of that bull, you know. I'll put it to you like this. I feel like he's the one that's in control. He yeah, he's the one that's in control. You can't manipulate him. It's like, yeah, I'm a good person, but I'm not gonna let you walk all over me. I have standards, I have
Hmm.
boundaries. And that's what I was trying to say when I was talking about him being in the garden. Like I said, I was just, teasing and picking and joking. And I don't see anything wrong with that. He be at work, and when he do whatever it is that he do, when he wants to do it, you know, that's what he does. And I actually think that's what most grown people should do, but especially a man, you know, like, and I also want to say that what I like about the live is, like you said, well, you didn't say it, but he's being vulnerable, he's being honest, truthful. And it's like that's what I like about his show. That's what I like about his channel, is that we all be up there, we give our perspectives on life, we give our input and opinion on each other, whether it's a joke in a serious, way. And that's why I'm like, I don't think little of him at all. So it just took me by surprise when you were like, with all due respect, bro, that's a simp. I'm like, why does he have to be a simp, for being himself? Why does he have to be a simp for being a human? You know, I don't understand that. I don't think that way of him at all. It's
And
it's like
and and
I'm just a little
and,
confused.
you still talk about in context of you calling him a teddy bear and all that stuff, correct?
I called him a grizzly in teddy bear clothing. That's what I call him.
Gotcha. Gotcha. So Well, what I stated is this: typically, when women do that towards men, that they're doing it in an indirect way because this man is behaving in a way that they find as approval. Okay, that's the reason why they say that. Like, say for example, with me, with me, I'm who I am, but I'm also direct, but I also could be cool with people and be respectable, right? But nobody don't sit up and say, oh man, you just gentle and different things like that. They don't say, they don't say things like that to me because they know that I'm masculine. You know what I mean? And so the point that I'm making is that women tend to indirectly take men out of their masculinity by mentioning things that's considered as soft to them, like a teddy bear or what, like some type of pet that's that has less strength. You know what I mean? But they've been programmed to do that. So that's why I said what I said.
Yeah, I know exactly what you're saying. So if I felt he was soft or weak or a simp, my indirect would be just that, like, you old, tender dick ass nigga. Like, that's what I would say. Okay. Like I said, I don't feel that way towards him. In fact, I'm not up here like, oh, I just think the world of SBK. It's like, no, I just think he's a cool dude. He is respectable. He also gives respect. He gives compliments. I don't see anything wrong with complimenting a person on their positive attributes. And what I will say to you is, usually when people don't compliment you, on your positive attributes is because you're not showing them. So maybe people ain't giving you, what you consider, weak and soft compliments because they don't see that in you. It's not a negative thing for either gender, especially women. I'm going to say this: when a woman is giving a man a compliment, it's really a good thing because most women these days only have negative things to say about men. And in my opinion only, the energy that SBK gives is actually good energy. There's no negative energy. There's no, fakeness, he just up there being himself. So that's why I'm like, all this simp stuff and, they think you soft. It's like, I know I don't think that way.
Why are you putting words in his mouth, though? Why are you putting words in Urban's mouth, though?
That's what he said.
No. He called him a simp only in the aspect of what was going on with his ex-girlfriend, not with the teddy bear thing.
Oh, no. He did go into the whole, he was like, bro, and what Vaughn said about the whole teddy bear thing. And I'm like, no, it's not a negative. It's absolutely not a negative.
But he also wasn't saying nothing about SBK either. He was only sitting here saying what it implied. You're literally twisting the reality.
Okay.
And that's what I was just about to get ready to say as well too. Now for us the other part where you're saying that maybe the reason why people are not giving me positive compliments because I'm not displaying that. Respectfully speaking, I'm not out here to be socially accepted. You know what I'm saying? Not in that way. You know what I mean?
Right.
All I'm out here doing this business-wise is to present content, period. And I know the type of content that I put out there is either going to hit people in a positive way or it's going to hit people in a negative way, depending on how the way they accept it, which that is fine. So I couldn't care less how the way people perceive me to be. And people perceive me to be however way that woman perceive me to be. But one thing I can tell you is this with me personally is that I will always treat people respectfully, regardless if I agree with them or not. You know what I'm saying? But what I have seen, on social media is that the moment when you say certain things that you push back on or whatever stuff, right? That's when people, they instantly don't become respectable to you anymore. They think that, oh, he dissing, he's that or whatever stuff because he said this about me, when that's far from the truth.
Right. That's why I'm a little confused because with you twisting my words, and saying like, well, when a woman says this, this is what they really mean. It's like, like I said, I don't think negatively about SBK, and with you kind of being like, well, this is what she really mean, or this is what a woman really means. Have you thought about maybe he could be thinking like, well, is she playing in my face? That's why I'm like, why would you say something like that? Do you want him to feel like, the positive, things that people are saying to him there's really some type of negative connotation connected to it? Like, it's like, well, what are you doing here?
No, it's not. It's not dealing with a negative connotation. It deals with intentions. You know what I'm saying? Because once again, I'm gonna reiterate this. Due to a lot of women behavior, right? They tend to gravitate towards men who say, per se, say the right things at the right moment to them. But once when that man starts stepping out and being truthful and honest and saying things how the way he really feel, they tend to push away. Case in point, at the beginning of the stream of stuff, right, when SBK was explaining himself how the way he was feeling, guess what you was doing? You was trolling him the whole entire time. You know what I mean? You was trolling him. You said that, well, I don't agree with that and this and that and that, or I'm just playing and, all this stuff when he was having a vulnerable moment. You know what I mean? But that's like I say, that's typically what women do. Long as you say the right things to them, to tickle their ear at the right time, then they for you. But the moment you hold them accountable a certain situation, or you say something that's more, serious, that's going to challenge them, challenge their mentality, guess what? They're going to want to label you differently. Another case upon they, the same as that thing was on. Dealt with Lionel, you know what I'm saying, where Lionel was saying certain things that women didn't agree with at all, period. They didn't say that, oh, he's cool and he's nice and different things like that. No, they didn't say that. They said that he was troubled. They said that he need therapy. They say he need counseling, all because he was pushing back on things that they didn't agree with. But the moment when he stepped back and said certain things that they do agree with, guess what? Oh, yeah, we love Lionel. He's cool. That's my bro, blah, 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 blah.
Yeah, no, that hasn't been my experience. What I will say is, I think, I'm gonna say it again. The live stream was a great live. I really enjoyed myself. Um, I am gonna say this. That goes both ways because although I was, trolling, playing, being funny, um, we can say that when he was being held accountable for, and I'm just going to say this loosely because I don't know, nor do I really care about what he does in his personal life, not for real, right? It was like, oh, you want to be in the garden with the women, meaning, be sexual or intimate. And then when they act, they expect uh to be close with you or have some type of outside the bedroom connection, you don't want that. So what I'm saying is when women hold men accountable for their actions, because for every action there is a reaction, whether it's a positive or a negative.
Mm-hmm.
Just think about like, hey, if you're gonna be dealing with these ladies, okay, all that, well, they want my attention. It's to be expected. Okay. And you can have your cake, okay, and eat it too, even though I hate that saying. But you got to know what comes with that. That's a part of holding people accountable as well, because people will do things and think that they can do whatever they want, and there shouldn't be any consequences that comes with it. And if you ask me, that's a distorted uh, reality. That's not how life works. That's not how the world works.
Mm-hmm.
For men and women, it's not just for one; it's for both. If I'm out here telling all these guys I love them and I love spending time with them, and then when they on their knees asking for my hand in marriage, why am I gonna go and complain all these niggas want to marry me? Okay, that's all I was saying. And as far as the whole situation with Lionel up here, you know once again, when you speak to people in a certain way, You can't expect to me, everybody ain't for me, okay? And I ain't for everybody. The people that want to be cool with me and close with me, we good. If I don't work with you, we just don't work. You know, everybody don't have to like you. Everybody ain't gonna like you. Everybody's not going to, take what you give, and then when they give it back, you're the victim. No, that's not how life works. So that's what I got to say about that. But as far as I'm concerned, no, I don't think that SBK is soft and a pushover, you know, from what you were saying. I don't think that of
Hmm.
him at all.
So, question, if that be the case, why do you reference him in that way?
Because I think, like I said, he reminds me of my husband. My husband is, what I consider a decent man, but he likes to be the one in control. And like I said, I don't see anything wrong with that when it's, a man. He's not disrespectful. He doesn't, think less of women. I see a lot of that in SBK. I don't see him, you know, just, saying any and everything out of his mouth. He's mindful of what he says, even careful of what he says at time when it comes to women. And on social media, you don't see a lot of men doing that. You see, what I call you the new Kevin Samuels. And I don't know who Lionel is, but you just don't see men loving on women, in their own little way. You just don't see it anymore.
Hmm. So, do you call your husband that? That
A,
he's
a
like
grizzly.
a soft grizzly teddy bear.
Yeah, in fact, my grandfather made that, joke about they were my husband was old enough to drink when we started dating and I wasn't. And my grandfather and my cousin who are from the South, and they made a joke and said we finna turn your teddy bear into a grizzly because they were about to drink moonshine, Everclear. So I thought it was funny. Because to me it's like I already know he a grizzly. Y'all just getting to know him. But they, y'all know how y'all men joke and talk and laugh and talk shit.
No, no, that's not the question I asked you. Juan. I asked you, do you be calling him that all the time?
A grizzly in teddy bear clothing?
Mm-hmm.
Yes. I just told you that's where I got it from.
Hmm. Kind of sound like you being a little disingenuous there, Vaughn. Your voice kind of elevated and everything. Like you're not being
No.
truthful
What am I being disingenuous about?
about the pet name that you call your husband.
Oh, you're saying that I don't?
Yeah, in that particular aspect, do you call your husband a soft grizzly bear? Where makes you
No, I
irritated
do
about
not
him being
refer.
soft?
I do not refer to my husband as being soft because that's rude and disrespectful. I say he's a teddy because you have to remember, my husband is a big man. Okay,
Mm-hmm.
he got broad shoulders. Okay, big back. And to me, he feels like a teddy bear when we embrace. But he's a grizzly. He knocks some shit over. He tossed some tables or whatever. So that's what I'm like. I don't understand why you think it's something bad other than you just don't like the idea of women calling you teddy bear like because to you that means that you're soft. And it's like no, like
It's
that
not
that's
it's
not
not
that's not
no
what
it's
I mean when I'm saying it to SBK or my husband. You don't
hey
no,
hey
if I
Vance
thought he was
Vance
soft,
Vance
like what the
Vance
heck?
Vance
What?
Vance. Come on now, but we ain't gonna do that. Don't try to overtalk me. All right, chill out on that.
Oh, my bad. I didn't mean to overtalk. Go ahead.
But there are many men out there who agree with me, saying whenever a woman speak up to them in that manner, that they're viewing them as being soft.
Mm.
Where if you call them a bear or cuddle bear, whatever the case may be, you know what I'm saying? That is a way of calling them soft. Now it's a different if you say, man, he's strong as a lion or a tiger, then that's dealing with masculinity. That's dealing with his masculine energy and stuff. Then yeah, you're like, yeah, I am strong. I'm that. But you're just a cuddly teddy bear. Normally just like you say, women call men like that who are either like big or stocky or even fat. You know what I'm saying? So even then, it could come off as being negative, and that's the point that I'm trying to share with you. You know what I mean?
So terms of endearment. So terms of endearment are off the table when it comes to men.
Define terms of endearment.
Meaning, shit, I like you. I like your energy. This is a way to describe you. That's not allowed. To give a man a compliment or to describe him in a way that is is complimentary to his character. That's not okay, because that means women are really thinking negative about them.
It depends on the intentions behind it, and that's the point I was making, that women have been programmed to indirectly say certain things like that to men, and that's why I'm bringing it to y'all attention, because I honestly believe that a lot of y'all not even aware of that y'all been doing this for so long. And then on top of that, then on top of that, us as men, we really haven't been saying it anymore because we probably said it and y'all just didn't listen to us, and so we just like forget it. It just is what it is.
Okay, so with that being said, no shade SBK, but I just want to get a clear understanding here. So SBK also gives a lot of compliments, and he says things, and like, for example, everybody knows or once knew I couldn't stand to be called sweetie, honey, whatever. So is he being disingenuous when he's complimenting us women? Is he really saying something else? Because it's got to go both ways, because it just can't be one side of the spectrum here. Like, because we all be throwing out compliments. Oh, I like your hat, girl. Oh, Vaughn, I like that. When I changed my app, Vaughn, I like the picture. And I'm like, well, okay, don't believe the hype. This is, an old picture. So I just want to know, does that go for men too? Are y'all being disingenuous?
So when you hear sweetie and honey and them different terms, how do you feel about that? How did that make you feel, and how do you interpret that?
Well, it depends on the tone.
No, we're sticking in context with still you and your husband. All right. So if your husband were to call you sweetie and honey and different things like that, how would you interpret that?
As a term of endearment, he like, for example, when he sees I'm like up in arms, he'll say baby. That grabs my attention. This is a safe space, sweetie, safe space. Honey, safe space. He's trying to grab my attention, to relax, be okay.
It also sounds, soft, like it goes with your femininity, correct?
Yes.
and that's the point that I'm making about the teddy bear thing. That teddy bear thing do not go along with our masculinity. Now, if you were to say like, yeah, you strong as a grizzly bear, something like that, then yeah, that goes along with our masculinity. You know what I mean? Because it shows that we're men, we're powerful, we're strong, we're protected. You know what I'm saying? Doing things we're supposed to do. But when you add on the extra part, you're strong but soft at the same time as a teddy bear. No, that takes away our masculinity. A matter of fact, that could be a way of emasculating a man. But turning around, when the dude call you sweetie, honey, baby, that's like him saying, "Oh, you're a sweet honey, baby," but you're like Michael Jordan. And you see how you equate Michael Jordan to being an athlete, and an athlete being to something masculine, right? And in your mind, you be thinking like, "Hold up, did you just call me a nigga?" And so you'll feel some type of way about that. That's all I'm saying in that aspect.
Okay. So what I'm getting from this is, it's not okay for women to give out terms of endearment to men.
Based on the intentions behind it and what you're using in that term of endearment. Like in your situation, you're saying a grizzly, but but also adding a teddy bear to that, where you're trying to
No,
imply
I
that
said
he's
the
strong and soft.
yeah, I said the teddy bear first, meaning on the outside, it would appear that you could do all of these things to this person because of who, who they are,
Hmm.
but that's not there. It's more than what there is more than what meets the eye, is what I'm saying.
Gotcha.
There's more to it, so it's not a bad thing. If you first of all, let me just go ahead and say this. SBK told his own story of how he punked his child's mother's boyfriend. To
Hmm.
me, that's the grizzly. He smiles, he's welcoming, he like, yeah, let me take the kids, but he not for none of that. Not for real.
Hmm.
He didn't get punked in that situation. Other guy did. So that wouldn't make him soft at all. In fact, it would mean exactly what I said. On the outside, you see this smiley person. You may think, oh yeah, he ain't on nothing for real. But try it and see.
Hmm.
He doing the
Gotcha.
punking. He's not getting punked. He's going to do the punking, and he did the punking. He's not going to get punked. And what I'm also gonna say is he doesn't have to put on this fake I'm super masculine, identity, because he gonna show you better than he can tell you.
Wait a minute. What?
You heard me. He don't have to walk around pretending to be something he really is. He doesn't have to, oh, I'm big and strong, don't try me. He's like, no, come sit down on the couch, let's have a drink, or, yeah, let's, fry some
So
fish type
so my
personality. Well, he's also from the South, so let me just throw that out there. So, but
so
yeah,
so my so my
but
qu- oh, go ahead, Von.
no, go ahead.
So my question is this: what's wrong with that?
What's wrong with what?
What's wrong with him displaying his masculinity? What's wrong with that? Because
Um,
according to your statement, you're saying that he don't have to go out and pretend this. He can show it with his action, whatever, right? Do you know
right.
that do you know that part of the animal kingdom, right? Do you know that every species of animal literally display their masculinity, even though that they're not as strong, but they still do it anyway?
Mhm.
You know that's part of their nature to do that. So, case in point, even as being humans, that's part of our nature to naturally do that anyway as men. So I don't see nothing wrong with doing that. Even if you got to pretend to be that way, you know what I'm saying? I don't see nothing wrong with that.
Well, when you're pretending, you're being disingenuous, and no shade to anybody, but in my experience, and my only little experience that I have, the saying goes, the loudest in the room is usually the weakest. So if a man is, I'm a man, and I'm a man, and I'm a man, and I'm the man, you always have to profess that you are a man,
Hmm.
that you are masculine, and I don't do that feminine stuff. You usually are, struggling with a little something. Do you really believe that you are a man? Why you got, don't get me wrong, there's nothing wrong with affirming yourself. But when you're constantly, I'm more of a man than you are, or I'm more of a man than he is, or I'm more of a man than that, are you really? And I
Hmm.
don't see SBK doing that. My husband don't do that. They are
Hmm.
who, and, you know, so, I ain't gonna say that, but when a man is always, you know, that that's not, it's like, what? Are you sure? You know?
Hmm. Gotcha. So, is it safe to say that tone policing is a possibility in this conversation?
With who?
That's in general, tone policing in general.
Um, it depends. Well, I'm gonna say this. For me, I do tone police because I speak to people. I treat people. I do my best to treat people how I want to be treated. I speak to people how I want to be spoken to. So if you talking to me in a way where I ain't talking to you, we got a problem.
Hmm. Gotcha. And so it comes down to respect and all that good old stuff, which we're circling all the way back around to when I'm talking about this situation with the analogy that you're using. You know what I'm saying? With SBK, you know what I'm saying? I can't speak for him. Know what I mean about his mentality behind it and stuff. But I know that not only myself but other men, we share the same sentiments about that, about how women use these type of analogy to indirectly emasculate us. And that's the whole point why I'm sharing it right now. It's to let y'all know that and to consider that this could be possibly a negative connotation against us. Hence what you're talking about tone policing. You know what I mean?
mm,
But the only reason
mm.
why the men really not talking about it is because they have in the past, but women do not listen.
Oh, okay. Women don't listen. Okay. So I don't really know what to say there because you kind of lost me. Um, what I will say is, how y'all speak to us matters just like how we speak to y'all matters.
Hmm.
And
I agree with that.
yeah, I will say if a man, feels that he doesn't have to change his tone, because he's the man, that's a problem. And if a woman, you know, can't, recognize that, okay, there may be a problem in something am saying, doing, then that's also a problem. However, I will say I've heard men say, don't say like my husband, don't say that, don't do that, you know, and I understand it because it's like, yeah, he's a man. Like for example, I'll look at one of my boys and say, "Oh, you're cute." Don't tell him he cute. To me, it's like, oh, okay. But if I was to say, I think my husband is, the cutest, and I'm talking to my girlfriends, I would
Hmm.
really hope my husband wouldn't take that personally. In fact, I don't think he would take it personally, because I'm talking to other women. But if I was to say, "Oh, you cute," he'd be like, "What the hell?" But truthfully, I'm
I'm,
gonna say
I'm,
this. I'm gonna say this
I'm.
because I just thought about something. I feel
Oh,
like some of these topics are like there's just a little too much thought put into them, especially because there are secure human beings that walk this earth. They hear this stuff and they be like, why do y'all even think like that? Including myself. And, I think a lot of, some of this comes from a place of insecurity because it's like, you know, and I saw you say in the chat, was that you or Lionel? It was one of y'all said, we're speaking from experience. And I'm like, well, that's y'all's negative experience. That doesn't mean that all people are like that or even thinking that way or even feel that way. And that's why I just think it's best to kind of be careful, when you're reacting to these live streams where we're all kind of being, cool with each other. Cause I just feel like some shit going, you should be careful because
Do
you
you want
don't
him to
want
speak
to.
from experience, or do you want him to just state an opinion that's unfounded?
I mean, I think he's doing both though. And in fact, he is doing both. He's speaking from experience and he's giving his opinion on facts that like cannot be proven. It's like that, not facts, but yeah, it's like what?
Then he might as well not talk. Then this becomes disingenuous in itself.
Well, no, I wouldn't say he shouldn't talk. I just said be mindful of the things that he's saying.
But it's
You
his
know,
experience. So he's giving his thoughts on his experience. How much mindful can he be? Because now it's like he's got to tiptoe around every topic because he don't know which one is going to hurt someone's feelings.
Okay, so it's like he is speaking from a point of view. Oh, this is facts. This is law. I've been here. I've done that, and it's like, well, that's not always true. You know, I can give my experience on a situation, you know, to a person, and it's just my experience. It doesn't mean that what the other person is going through or experience is the exact same thing as what
There
I'm
is a
So,
reason he opened up the panel, though. That way, other people can also share their experience.
yep, yeah.
Oh, okay.
Then also, I want you to consider this too, Vance. This whole sentiment talking about that, you know, that's not everybody's experience. That's also a disingenuous comment that you're making. The reason why is because there are a lot of other people who do share the same type of experience. It may happen to them in various forms, but at the end of the day, they have the same experience. You know what I mean? So just
Right.
because it's not everybody on the whole entire planet with the same type of experience, you know what I'm saying, that doesn't disqualify the experience or make it disqualify, say that it's not a fact when it is, you know what I mean? Not only myself, but there are other men who are, including Lionel and SBK, repeatedly have said like, hey, yeah, man, look, this is my experience too. I have dealt with that. There been other men as well too who have said, yeah, this is my experience. I have dealt with that as well too. And so what we're going to do, we're going to disqualify all of them because everybody on the planet is not having the same experience? No. That's like being disingenuous and saying things about women. Like women would say that, hey, men are predatory and stuff, right? Y'all have predatory behavior. Some of y'all men go out and grape women, y'all molest children and do all this stuff there, you know what I mean? That'd be disingenuous to say that every man is like that. You know what I mean? True enough, there are men who have dealt with that. True enough, there are women who have dealt with that experience and they have that same shared experience. You know what I mean?
hmm Okay, okay, so there was one part, and this is why I'm not asking, but this is why I'm a little thrown off. So SBK gave his experience with taking care of, you know, the mother of his child's other children. But then when I said what I said, gave her experience, it was like, oh no, I don't believe that that's true. I believe she's, you know, being disingenuous. She's leaving out stuff, you know, basically calling her a liar and saying that you don't believe that she could be exactly like SBK and have the same exact experience. Because keep in mind, you said, you know, this is their experience and their perspective on how they handled the situation. I didn't hear you give
Correct.
SBK any kind of pushback, you know, when they were speaking about the children and, you know, not mistreating children, because that was actually the topic. It wasn't about favoritism. It was about mistreating children. And he was saying that, you know, had mistreated and still won't mistreat, you know, and still is there for these children. And when she gave her experience, it was like, oh no, you know, nah, I don't believe it. And it's like, huh? Like
So
what?
At this point, you're picking and choosing what you want to listen to? Because
Oh, okay.
in that same rebuttal that I did, right, I made a generalized statement stated that, hey, no, there's no, you should not be sitting up here trying to take care of somebody else's child. Did you not hear me say that?
Okay, but you also said that it was because he was still in love with the lady. It couldn't just be a part of his
No,
character.
no, no, no. You're twisting two different stories that I was talking about
Okay.
into one.
Well,
You talking about the story where we was talking about what I said, and I gave you my
right,
opinion about that and stuff. Where I said like, I
right.
don't know about that. It sound like, you know, she's leaving out details about
Yeah,
that. However,
that's what I said. Right.
however, when SBK was explaining his story, right, he was being more
Mm-hmm.
transparent. He was giving way more details than what I said was saying in that moment. So that's why I said what I said in that moment about her versus SBK.
Wait, she gave details as well. She even told us, what I feel, no shade
But
to her either, was, that her husband had a whole child on her.
mhm.
That's not detailed enough for you?
No, in that moment, she was giving a generalized statement to make a point. And so I gave a generalized opinion based on what she said. But where SBK was speaking, he was going more into details about why he said what he said and to prove his point why he is saying what he's saying. And it wasn't
Yeah,
just a
no,
generalized statement.
Mr. Lounge, I don't agree because I remember I was there and I just rewatched it, and they both pretty much gave, a short story paragraph, okay,
Hmm.
on how they were dealing with other people's children and how they cared for them and did not mistreat them even though they did not belong to them. So for you to, I'm gonna say this, it's like you just are so sure that she left out details, even though, like I said, in my opinion, she gave more, than enough details. Her son still wanted to play with her. They, the mother, she went into details just like he did, about their own life stories. But I didn't hear you say, oh, bro, and that's all I'm pointing out is that I didn't hear you say, oh, bro, I don't believe, you really was taking care of them kids and you loved them and you wasn't showing favoritism and you wasn't mistreating them. And you didn't say all that about her, but you said that in so little words though. Like
Hmm.
I don't believe that even happened. She leaving something out. It's like, well,
Hmm.
was he
Of
leaving
course.
something out?
Of
What?
course. Yeah, and that's exactly what I said too. So my question is, so what's the pushback on that? Well, why does that even matter?
It matters because I also recently heard you say, this isn't a channel to tear women down, it's to hold both men and women accountable. But,
Hmm.
you know, I didn't, I'm going to say this. You did some little places. It was like, okay, I agree with this, you know, but in that, I'm going to just say this. I didn't like hearing you say that because, um, it came off disingenuous, like you were like trying to be funny or something.
Y'all so love using my terms, huh?
I mean, it ain't your
Okay.
term, okay? Let's get something straight now. It really ain't your term. It's a word in the dictionary, okay?
No,
But
no,
it's
no,
like
no, no,
you,
no, no, no,
no, Mr.
no,
Lounge,
no,
I got to keep it real with you, like you keep it
no,
real with me.
no,
I
no, Vance.
know,
Y'all didn't
I
start.
know, huh?
Y'all didn't start using that term until I started using it over here. So keep it real.
Not really. But I'm gonna say this. I
Okay.
know
We can
you.
play the game. All right.
No,
Go
we
ahead.
can, we can. I know
Go ahead.
you. I know these YouTube streets, and Mr. Lounge. This ain't looking like something you really. It just don't look good, and I'm just gonna keep it there, because you gonna do what you want to do on your channel. But I feel like we all know how beef starts and how people, and
Vance,
you
what do
said
you
it to me. You
Vance,
said, Vaughn, you know better. You said, Vaughn, you know better than that. And it's like, you right, Mr. Lounge, I know better. And it just seems like this
what are
is
you
a
talking Vance, what are you talking about? Because it seems like you're
I
going into a whole different conversation.
no, we're not going into a different conversation. I look, I'm just gonna keep it real, okay? And it seems like, you picking, you know, and it's just like I think I know you well enough to know you know what you're doing, and that's all I'm gonna say. I still support SBK. I still support. I said what I said. I still support E. I'm still gonna support them. But Mr. Lounge, it's just looking like you want some bullshit, and your little hit the button tone. Okay.
I do gotta ask Vons, does experience matter? And I'm asking for a reason.
Experience does matter.
So with Urban spending almost a decade in social services and child services and hearing parents lie, hear people lie quite often for the better part of a decade, you don't think that's not playing a part in how his mind is operating when he's listening to these stories?
I think we all have experience when we can
No,
tell
no, no.
somebody is
That was his
lying.
job. That was his job. His job
Right,
was to literally
right,
listen to people, grown adults, tell
right,
fabrications.
right.
So you don't think that's playing a part in how he's listening to this?
Um, yeah, we can also say that's what I'm doing when I'm listening to him.
Yeah, you weren't doing it professional.
He's not doing it
But
professionally. He's
he
he's not
was.
on the clock. He's not
That's
on
the
the clock
point.
to analyze people.
That's the
He's
point
just
I'm making. He was
he's
doing it
reacting.
professionally, and his wife
Right.
still is doing this professionally. So when you're literally living a life where you have to decipher liars and listen to BS stories, does that experience matter when he's reacting?
Am I supposed to answer that?
I was just curious.
Oh, I mean, to me, uh, I want to say yes. I'm gonna say yes, but I still think, it's something clean in the milk on his end. That's what I'm pointing out.
So this whole conversation that was on having, right, and the your intentions are coming up here, right? But was it to truly, have a perspective about the show, or was it for you to come up and create a whole narrative and create a chaotic atmosphere based on how the way you're currently feeling in the moment?
Well, I'm not feeling chaotic, and I hope y'all aren't feeling chaotic either. Um, you asked, you opened the panel for everybody to give, their opinion on, your reaction and the conversation. And I just want to add that I was there, so it's not like I just
Hmm.
decided to get up here, it's like I was there. I know my intention toward SBK, and, it just seems like, you had a negative ideology, behind it. And
And
it's like,
and
let
and,
let
and
me
why the
stop this.
and,
It was
and,
like, look,
and
let
why
me
do
let me stop that
and why
because,
do and
that's
why do
not
it
true.
and why did it appear negative to you?
Well, um, because of what you said, about women and how they think of men, and it's like, well, that's not, and that's why let me speak on that too. When you were like, I don't even know why Vaughn is saying all of this, because I felt that, he was kind of, feeling a ways, but he and I cleared it up right then and there. It was like, no, Vaughn, I know you trolling. And it was like, okay, my bad. I just want you to know, I may be, trolling or whatever, but all jokes aside, there's nothing wrong with how live your life or whatever. I really
Hmm.
don't care. I
So so
just
got
keeping
you.
it real. I really don't. I'm not walking around thinking that, you're leading women on. That's not what I was thinking. It was like, wait a minute now. Well, hold the hell up. But we got that together in the moment. So
Hmm.
when you were like, oh, yeah, I know, what women really be thinking. It was like, you weren't even there. you know,
I don't have to be there. That's why it's on YouTube. It's documented, so I could go back and watch the replay or react to it.
right. So if someone was to take your commentary, like, because I came up here, right?
Hmm.
But if I was to take your commentary and say all the things that I've just said,
Hmm.
about you, everything that I just said, that I think is something ain't clean in the milk. Okay. I feel like
Hmm.
we both know better, you know, you wouldn't be like, well, what make Vaughn I mean, you done already said it. Like what? Like what? You trying to
I'm
call start something. I'm like, no, I'm just
I'm
doing
I'm
what
I
you did
mean,
with
it
me, you
was
know.
yeah, and you're literally proving your point that I'll make it right now. You know what I'm saying? Because now you're revealing to yourself that your whole intentions wasn't pure to be able anyway, but you use what we talk about as a catalyst to get your point across about how the way you really feel. You know what I'm saying? Which the answer to your question, I don't care about none of that because I know my positioning here
Hmm.
on YouTube. I know that when I make content, people are going to react to it. That's the whole point of it.
Right.
Whether they agree with it or disagree with it. I'm different. I'm kind of built different from a lot of other content creators out there. See, when people do reactions on different content creators, they immediately get up in their feelings and stuff, thinking that, oh my
Right.
God, they're coming for me. They're doing this or that. Let's do it beef. Let's talk about it. I don't think like that at all. Period. You know what I'm saying? In
Right.
fact, I be wanting people to react to me because that's what I'm here for. If people not reacting to what I'm saying, then why the hell I'm on social media? It defeats the
Right.
purpose. You know what I'm saying? So I don't care. There have been people who say all kind of stuff about me throughout my experience on YouTube. I don't give a damn. I don't. I don't at all.
Right.
I don't be triggered about it or nothing like that. You know what I'm saying? Because I understand the assignment. I understand that some people going to agree with me, some people going to disagree with me. It just is what it is. But the one thing
Right.
about it that I've been telling people to do is that it depends on your reaction behind it. Your reaction don't have to be in a beefing connotation like I've been telling y'all. You know what I'm saying? You don't have to
Right.
beef with people to give your reactions to certain situation. You can keep it clean, you can keep it respectful, and keep it moving. It's just that simple. It don't require doxing. It don't require you streaming the stream while other person on stream while y'all reacting to it on another panel to do silly
Right.
stuff like that. It don't require none of that stuff. You know what I mean?
Right. Well, I'm gonna say this. I've never done any of that, what you're talking about. Okay. um, I came up here, to ask questions, gain clarity, give statements. Okay.
So
I've never
so with
reacted
that
to any.
so
I've
within
never reacted to any of your content,
Vance,
and
Vance,
honestly, I've
Vance,
on
Vance, Vance, Vance. Look
what,
here.
what.
I already asked you like respectfully. Please don't cut me off when I'm trying to respond. All right, respectfully.
Oh, well,
Okay.
you were cutting me off, but okay, go ahead.
Okay. But anyway, so by me explaining to you about that whole definition about the grizzly and the teddy bear thing, did you understand where I was coming
Hmm.
from with that?
Truthfully, no, because that's not my intention when I'm saying it. And based on your experience, when a woman is describing you, I don't think it's fair to put that off on me when I'm speaking to another person.
Hmm. Gotcha.
Yeah, I didn't understand that. But, I've never reacted to your content and I won't, that I came up here to talk to you, because I'm like, what is really? But okay, you just reacted, you just doing this for content. And I
Hmm.
mean, which
Of
you
course.
usually do. But I just gotta say it again, like you said to me, I feel like we kind of both know better. But, I get it.
No better from what you're acting as though it's this reaction was to create beef and drama. That's the energy I'm getting from
He
you.
didn't even know what the show was. He missed it.
Right. And it's like and maybe next time when they're live, and you're actually there, it'll be a little different because it's like, you got a whole a lot of negative stuff to say, oh, women, and it's like it's all about women, 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 and it's like what?
Hmm.
Why do
And
you
men
have
too.
such a bad? I don't understand how you married and you have such a bad taste in your mouth about women. I don't get it. I expect it from Lionel, and maybe even SBK, but damn, you okay?
Hmm. The reason why is because I talk about certain type of women in their behavior, just like I talk about certain type of men in their behavior, and I'm sharing with you not only my previous professional experience with dealing with this, but my personal experience as well too, because I believe that a lot of people have been conditioned to think this way, and they need to be reprogrammed. The one way you're going to get reprogrammed is for you to bring awareness. Just like a person who's addicted to, certain type of drugs or whatever, they don't, in their mind, they think there's nothing wrong with them until you bring awareness to them that they have a problem. That's what we do over here. Now, well, if you agree with the method behind it, doing it, that's totally up to that person. But I'm simply just the messenger.
Okay.
But now, I don't hate women. I don't hate men or anything like that. Obviously, you should know that because I'm married. So,
Yeah, no, I know you don't hate men, but I don't know. This is like,
yeah,
okay.
I don't
But
hate women as well, too. You're not going to do that. I don't hate women as well, neither. I'm not going to let you get away with that. No, I don't hate women, neither.
yeah. Well, keep up the good work, on your reaction content, But yeah, I just wanted to say that I don't think anything, negative about him. I mean, I really don't be caring for real, which is probably a bad thing, but I just want to say that because I'm like, he cool, and I don't know. I will say in my experience when people do commentary like this, it's like it's like seeds are being planted, and it's just like, I don't, it's not a good look. That's just my own opinion, that it's just not a
Got
good
you.
look.
Got you. And now you're revealing your intentions behind this. See, even with that
What?
response, that
This is what I be talking about. Like what?
listen, listen
But
to me.
okay.
Listen to me, Vance. This is the reason why all the times where I was having a conversation with you, and I was telling you about, hey, um, there's a point of you where you need to want to get rid of the old way of you thinking and have a new renewed mind of thinking. You know what I'm saying? At that time, Romans chapter 12, where you need to want to renew your mind and things. You know what I mean? Because if your mind was truly renewed, then you wouldn't even go immediately to the old way, thinking that, man, this is creating seeds, what's going to be planted. The next thing you know, it's going to be creating beef and different things like that.
Well,
But
it's not so much
but
beef.
listen, but listen
But
real
go
quick.
ahead.
But I do,
Mhm.
I do commend you. I do commend you
Mhm.
coming up here and getting clarity on all this. You know what I'm saying? That you want to get
Mhm.
clarity. You want to make sure that it is, it is in fact what it is. That's regular reaction. So I could tell you through
Right.
my whole intentions behind this is simply a reaction. It's not planting seeds. I'm not creating beef. I'm not beefing with anybody.
Mhm.
Period. You know what I'm saying? Because I don't have that time. I don't have that energy because I'm a busy man.
Right.
Anyway. So
Right. No, I know that. Let me say this. It's not so much about the beef. It's just, and if SBK is okay, with you giving your opinion of some of his behavior, then that's okay too. But it's just like, I feel like when you're speaking on things, it from your opinion and your perspective, it's like, have you ever thought about how that can take root in a person's mind, and have a negative effect? Because, you know, I ain't gonna beef with you, you know what I'm saying? But have you ever thought like, man, sometimes we can talk too much, and say things, that maybe should be said, in a different way and not so much like you're putting a person down or putting people down,
so
So do you
and
want him to be him or not? Do you want him to be fake? Because
no, I don't want.
y'all keep saying this, that he needs
Yeah.
to rearrange what he's saying. So if it's not tone police, it's word arrangement
Mhm.
or energy arrangement. You're essentially telling him to be something else.
yeah, that you want
Yeah.
to that you want to accept. In other words, so let me answer this question. All right, do I
Mhm.
consider everything that I talk about? Absolutely, I do. Due to my
Mhm.
previous line of work, dealing with that profession, yes, there are certain things I have to consider prior before saying what I'm saying. You know what I mean? That's the reason why
Yeah.
it's different with me. Like other people, they could get on YouTube, they could say what the hell they want to say when they say it and different like that, but it's different with me. That's the reason why when I do shows and stuff, right, I have to have talking
Mhm.
points. I have to have an outline and different things like that because I do be managing some of the things that I say. And how the way I say it, but I'm not going to take away me or who I am when I say it. You know what I mean? So I do my best to make sure that I skillfully say this certain type of way where it will hit home, but at the same time, it'll be respectable. You know what I'm saying? Be respected, you know, because to be honest with you, I don't know if you're aware of these other spaces that talk about, you know, content like this, but there are content creators that go way worse than me. There are content creators that go way worse than the former Kevin Samuels and all the rest of them. They go way worse than this, where they are blatantly disrespectful. To me, this is not disrespectful at all. All it is that it is hurting people's feelings because I'm being truthful and honest about the situation that they just don't want to hear and they don't want to take accountability for. And it go for both men and women.
Yeah. Well,
Because
I'll say this. Yeah.
keep in mind.
No,
Keep in mind. It be dudes in my. Keep in mind. You being over here. It been dudes. It been men. Even in my chat that be giving me pushback. It ain't just a woman.
right. Yeah. Yeah, no, I know. I don't know. I'm gonna say this, you know, if I, you know, offended SBK in any way, you know, with what I was doing, which I don't think I did, you know, that wasn't my intention. You know, I feel like we was all just having a good old time, you know, kiki and laughing, and some serious things were talked about. You know, I even, you know, told SBK, you know, my stepfather and him have a similar story, you know, as far as taking care of children that, you know, don't belong to you and you don't mistreat them, you know, but I don't know. Okay. I'm just going to leave it there. I ain't got no smoke with you. All right. Look, I don't beef anymore, regardless of what anybody thinks. I don't beef anymore. You know, I say what I got to say and I keep it moving, you know, because I really don't care.
Gotcha.
Like, no shade to nobody, but I really don't care. No more. Okay.
So Vons, this is the reason why I had asked you earlier that you understand where I was coming from. Well, when I was speaking about this particular thing, you know what I mean? So when I was explaining this, it wasn't in a way where it was saying that women was thinking negatively towards him. I was saying that in an indirect way, women use this to weaponize men to emasculate them. And the thing about it, to be fair, this is something that women have been conditioned and programmed to do. That's the reason why I was revealing it to y'all that, hey, maybe y'all saying this, y'all haven't considered that, you know, men don't like to be called that. You know what I'm saying? That's similar to calling a person out their name, you know. Like some people use the word be and you know, you're talking about it in the French way. But in the same token, you use the word be again, it could be a one, as you said, a German where you're trying to fight. You know what I mean? And so that's all I'm doing is that I'm giving you both perspectives of it. One perspective that, as you say, that women look at it, they're like, well, you know, I don't see nothing wrong with it. But the other perspective is that, hey, you know, hey, y'all consider that y'all could be emasculating this dude. You sitting up here saying that he's less than a man in an indirect way, you know? But it's not a wrong thing, nor it's not a beefy thing, nor you don't have to apologize about that as well too, because like I say, you've been conditioned to think that way, you know? So there's no apology behind that. It is that you just need to be aware of it, just to consider it. That's it. Nothing more, nothing less. And that goes for all the women who are watching.
Yeah, well, I'm a hush because I don't know what people doing. But you see, I'm mindful of what I say these days because I don't know what other people are doing. I only know what I'm doing. But
Gotcha.
what I will say is that no, I don't think SBK is less of a man at all. In fact, I feel being less of a man would be exactly what he described. You know, having all these different women around his child, you know, not taking care of business, not standing on business, not handling business, you know, being all up in everybody else's business. And that's not what I get from him. So, you know, and I ain't trying to make this all about SBK, but the whole show was about SBK, and this is SBK's platform. And, you know,
After this Tap In platform, it was both on SBK and Eve, NE as well too. But the whole show was kind of centered around that. Because you know how the way the conversation was going, because you have to be fair, is that at that particular moment, SBK was the only dude up there versus 4 different women. Okay, and so
Right.
we was reacting to everything he was saying. We was reacting to everything what the women was saying as well too. And on
Right.
top of the last and final part that you were saying earlier, you said this earlier stuff, right? The reason why I wasn't saying too much about what you were saying, Vance, is because I also said that you was trolling. So I said
Yeah.
that you was trolling, and I wasn't taking it serious. So that's why I wasn't even reacting to it. I was like, yeah, she trolling. I ain't even want to be saying nothing about it because I know where her mind is at.
Yeah, I was straight up trolling. I was having a good old time. Um, yeah, I'm laughing because I just remember how much fun I was having. It was like, but yeah.
And then
But all right.
and then it was not a bad show. We never said it was. I never said it was. I said it was a phenomenal show on part 1 and part 2 and part 3. It was a phenomenal show. It was a
Yeah.
phenomenal live. And I also said like,
said it
man,
was
I
a
wish
bad
I said I said I wish I could have been there on the panel, but I wasn't. I couldn't because I was working.
Yeah, that's why I say, well, next time he live, I hope you pop out because I love to debate, and I feel like it probably would have been more fun, if he was there, because we would all, like Max was saying, he spoke his piece, we spoke ours, we was just, clowning. And I just want to say this too. They have a wonderful platform,
Hmm.
because it's not just, people like me, that come from, bad places. It's like everybody be over there, I've never seen so many men hit a link and be vulnerable, and say some of the things that they, have said. I've never seen it here on YouTube myself. And maybe it's because where I be at. But, I
Vance,
think they got
Vance, you be getting men over here at the lounge being vulnerable, but y'all don't be taking them serious.
well,
They
I'm
think
gonna
it's
keep it
market.
real.
They think it's
I'm gonna
trolling.
I'm gonna keep it real, and no disrespect, but all of our paths are different, and I no longer do well um in certain, energy, where it's almost like there's no hope and there, I'm a quote Lionel since, I just don't do well with the whole everything ain't gonna be rainbows and sunshine. I know that is true. However, I'm always looking for the silver lining. And I may not have always practiced that in the past, but for me, it's like a lifestyle. So it's like if ain't no silver lining, mentality going on. I just can't, I'm not gonna force nobody to think how I think. I'm not gonna force nobody to believe what I believe or, how I feel. But and that's even in real life. If you ain't talking about, the silver lining, the light at the end of the tunnel, I just can't do it because it causes a negative effect on me,
Hmm.
because I'm looking for the silver lining. I'm looking
Gotcha.
for the rainbow at the end of the pot of gold or whatever, So that's all it is, So I be trying to encourage people, for their silver lining, which is why, even though I was trolling, I was being truthful. Like, yeah, stay single, SBK. If your silver lining is, doing you, being you until do it, But all of that, you know, I don't do well in all of that other stuff anymore. It's not good for me.
Hmm.
And that's why, we can say, I'm up here like, wait a minute, okay, I don't mean anything other than what I say. Okay. You know.
Yeah,
But
gotcha.
I ain't gonna bother you no more. You commentate. You react. Okay. I ain't got nothing else to say. We good.
Yeah, yeah. You don't gotta tell me to commentate react because I'm gonna do me. I'm always gonna do that.
See
Right.
how he being manipulative?
Hmm.
I'm encouraging him. That is encouragement.
No, that was not encouragement, Vance.
Oh, okay. Well, if you don't believe what I'm saying, that's fine. I ain't look. That's between you and you. But I'm gonna go ahead and let y'all go. Let y'all get back to doing what y'all was doing, and y'all have a good night.
All right. Appreciate you, Vance.
All right.
You are so nice. I always gotta say that, man. You are just so nice to these people.
I wouldn't say nice or anything like
I
that.
know that's
I
kind
say
of
that
wrong.
I would say professional. I say
I
professional.
want to tell you this. My brother, women give him compliments, and he hates that crap because in his travels, and I love just bragging about him. He's been to 19 other countries. He's been to every state in this country. In his travels, when women are giving compliments, it's disrespectful. He hates that crap. It got my mom all confused and messed up. She
Hmm.
like, what do you mean? He like, nah, don't BS me. So it ain't just your experiences. There's other dudes who can vouch for you.
Yeah, and that's the point I was trying to let her know that yes, it's not. Of course, it's not the whole entire world that thinks like that, but it's a huge plethora of men that really do think like that for real. A lot of them. So,
They see the outcome of that. They see
hmm
how women end up being very disingenuous, their favorite word, how they be very disrespectful, how they'll treat you less than a man. What comes out of their mouth correlates to a very different reality when they start hearing those compliments.
hmm and well, what's also interesting is that this is kind of leading up to my next content that I'm getting ready to present. Not the reaction that we're going to do later on the movies, right? But it's actually leading up to other content that I'm going to reveal to people about stuff that they need to know they never thought about it in this particular perspective. You know what I'm saying? So
No, I mean you
it's
already gave
interesting.
a good synopsis on how basically we need to change our minds of thinking and whatnot. I do think it
Hmm.
was hypocritical of her to say that she can't deal with the negative energy, but then she the one who came up here immediately with the negative connotation behind it. I think that was very hypocritical.
Hmm.
I also know how to dress up words when I need to.
Hmm. Yeah, gotcha.
Just saying,
Yep, got you.
definitely no
Other
shade to SBK though. But I will say he carried that show Friday. That's why it
Yeah.
was so SBK centered.
Yeah. Yeah, he did on the crew though. Yeah, he did. Yeah, shout out to him. Shout out to SBK. A matter of fact, shout out to Tap In Podcast as well too. Like I say, they do have phenomenal content over there. Those of y'all not sub up to that channel, by all means go over there and sub up to that channel for all that good old thought provoking content. You know what I mean? Just like how we have over here at the lounge too, where we have thought provoking content, whether people agree with it or not, we be talking about it. You know what I'm saying? So, but yeah. But other than that, man, she got even final words for tonight.
I don't like
Or
when
this
these women be trying to change reality and twist up words.
that's your
I mean,
final words.
I, I hate when they try to twist up reality though. They do. They twist it up. They change words. They'll take 10 stories and put it into one and make it sound like that was all encompassing. I don't like that.
Hmm.
She took 3, 4, 5 different stories and tried to combine them to prove a point. But it was like there was literally different connotations for each story.
Hmm. Yeah, that I could agree.
And I was trying to be on my best behavior. I was trying not to say certain things. I was trying to be on my best behavior. But I will say, I think one of the most disingenuous parts is the teddy bear argument because that was said before he ever brought up that story on what he did. So I'm looking at this like this is very disingenuous also. That's what I said the whole night. That's what those women were being, disingenuous.
Mm-hmm.
But see, I tried to be on my best behavior, though. I was trying to do good. They said I'm the villain. I'm the shark. I tried to be the nigga in the background. I can't think of a word for it, though.
Mm-hmm.
But this was, I mean, again, part 3 was good. At the end of the night, it was good.
Yeah.
If there's a
Yeah, we
part
got-
4, we here for it.
It's definitely a part 4 because we are now 2 hours and 32 minutes into this stream. It's 4 hours and 4 minutes long. So we halfway there. We are halfway there. So
All right, man. I'm gonna step out. Have a good one.
all right, you too. Appreciate you coming up. Once again, appreciate everybody who stayed up this late to tune into the stream. Appreciate y'all a whole lot. Appreciate once again everybody else pulled up as well too. Lionel and Vance as well too. Make sure that y'all have y'all notifications set when I do go live, so y'all could continue to get all this thought-provoking conversation that we have over here, regardless if you agree with it or not. So other than that, y'all have a great and wonderful night. I will see you again on the next episode where we will do part 4 of this stream as well too, reacting to the Tap In podcast. All right. So y'all have a good night. We will see you again more likely tomorrow. What tomorrow? Wednesday? Yeah, we'll see you on tomorrow, Wednesday. Peace out, y'all.